Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 64 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner,
Hello.
Creamcast,
Hey, what's going on?
Dark Side,
Oh, what's up, everybody?
and myself, the Ed Underground 64 Bay Bay. How you guys doing?
All right, pretty good.
What?
That was such a lame.
Starting
Nothing,
out
just
with a
fine,
downer.
man.
Starting out with a downer.
Yeah.
You've already brought the energy down already. Like, what the fuck, Ed?
I bring the energy up.
Talk about 64. No,
Everything's always up with me, so
I bet it is.
I bet it
You're
is.
just in a constant state of tumescedness. Just walking around,
Yeah,
just hard as a rock.
just going around can cut a
Just
diamond.
going into the post office.
Like, I don't need a letter opener. I can cut it myself.
what?
The swiper, no swiping.
Mm,
All right, so
Call me
kicking
Swiper.
off episode 64. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so let's kind of get right into it. Big news that happened this week, guys. I
Mhm.
mean, I know I'm not a big social media person. I'm more of a lurker. I will go on every social media site and never post anything. I think my Facebook literally just replies to people that wish me happy birthday. I think this year I actually took it off because I was annoyed that people, because like people don't remember your birthday at all. They'll just be like, oh,
Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook. Like, fuck you. I haven't talked to you since high school. I don't really give a shit. But I am a lurker on Twitter. And I do consume a lot of Twitter feeds and so forth, and looking at different tweets that people push out, especially like political stuff, news, blah blah blah. Love the Onion, stuff like that. Satirical parody stuff. So big news that's happened recently is our boy Elon Musk bought Twitter for like what $44 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
So now he's the head of Twitter. He actually owns Twitter now. And the crazy thing about that is he went in and straight up just started firing people left and right. Like, pretty much like, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want, which is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. That's kind of like, I don't know if it's reckless, but
Hey, that's standard operating procedure. Anytime these big,
Yeah.
acquisitions are made, they clean house. They get their own people in there.
well,
Yeah, those are the
literally
first to
cleaning
go.
out, like he cleaned house. But the crazy thing about it is that
Yeah.
so he cleaned out like the CEO and everything else. Did not
Mhm.
realize that these people. I don't know if he realized or he just didn't give a shit. He probably just didn't give a shit.
Didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So these people had golden parachutes, in their built into their contract. So the Twitter CEO, I think his name's like Parag something. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Is that the guy that says that we don't care about freedom of speech? We only care about whatever.
Could be.
It could
I
be.
don't know.
I don't know.
Not
know.
vast
Because I
on
remember when
Twitter.
who was the last guy with the beard that left?
Was
The
that-
main guy from
What?
Twitter.
Jack
Oh,
Dorsey?
no. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, Dorsey.
Yeah.
So after Dorsey left, the new guy came in, which I'm assuming who's you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And because people were like, oh, you're silencing all these people, whatever. And his thing was like, hey, as Twitter, we pretty much, he said, we don't care about freedom of speech. We just care about what's good for the company. And then I believe he received a ton of heat for that. So I'm assuming maybe that's why he got let go, because he was
Well,
really authorizing all these like bans left and right.
Elon, he went ahead and fired the entire board of directors. I think pretty much.
What about
entire
the lawyer?
system.
Did he fire the lawyer? That lady that was everywhere?
Yeah, he did. The head of
Okay.
their whatever legal thing.
Yeah.
I just know he cleaned
Yeah.
house. He took out pretty much the entire executive suite for Twitter. Now all these executives, because a lot of them had golden parachutes for their contracts, meaning that if they got released from fired whatever from their position, they were automatically going to get a payout bonus. And so they were saying like somewhere upwards of 30 to 50 to 60 million is what all these executives are getting.
Oh wow!
For pretty much being let go early. So that's in total. I think Parag, I think I might be butchering. I'm sorry if I am, but he's supposed to get like the biggest payout, which some people were saying is around $44 million. Which everybody's speculating, of course, but that's still a lot of damn money for. I think they said his salary was normally like $1 million, $2 million, but then of course he gets bonuses from like stock options and stuff like that. He's gonna get a performance bonus for his time. He's only been in the position for a couple months, maybe a year or so. But he's been with the company for over a decade. But yeah, he's getting a huge ass bonus. So it's like, yeah, like if I was him, I'd be like, dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna chill with my cool 44 million. Yeah, like
we're good.
Okay, you let me go and I get I get 44 million out of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I can I can wipe my tears with that,
Isn't that the norm though when you get to that level?
Yeah,
That's
they're all
because every time like
cushions are built in.
Every time like someone gets fired from like United Airlines, they don't report in it, but that person also gets like millions of dollars when they leave.
Yeah, their service
I think that's
package
pretty
is nice.
normal. Yeah.
I remember one of my jobs, I ended up getting let go from. Technically, they said later.
Oh, hold on. Everybody, get ready for some of this one personer talk. All right, Creamcast, lay it on us.
What happened?
What?
I said,
hold on.
All of our listeners, get ready for more Creamcast one percenter talk. All right,
no, it's not 1% talk. Like I got let go from my job. It was told I was laid off, but I was pretty much fired.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, I don't know if they were trying to like sweep it under the rug because they didn't want me to come back and be like, yeah, you fired me because I'm black or whatever else." But I got a severance package for like a month and a half or 2 months of pay. Like even though I was gone, I was like, "Yo, this feels kind of nice." Like, what I'm saying? Like getting an actual severance package on top of like the money I get back from my leave and my unused PTO.
Yeah.
I was like, what? They actually do this? And I was like, yeah, severance packages are quite a normal thing, especially working for, especially, I don't know if it was for like blue collar jobs, but I know for white collar jobs for sure. People are saying like, that's
for white collars for sure. Blue collar, it's you know what? Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Good luck.
Talk to your union if you really have a grievance. But other than that, you're kind of screwed, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, Creamcast, I gotta ask.
Sure.
This is a video podcast, a video medium. You got break away from our discussion here. You got some kind of great looking beard twirl going on here. What is that? Is that by design or see that on the side? Yep.
Where?
No.
The other side. The other side.
Oh, the other side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got like one side is twirled, the other one is not
you look like you were up to something. Like, there it goes.
Oh, this. Oh no. This is no beard twirl.
There it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What is going on?
Yes. No beard twirl.
It looks like you're about to tie it to some train tracks or something.
Hi, who?
Like, I'm.
Just wear a black hoodie.
I'm literally just growing my facial hair. I've just been lazy. Haven't cut my hair. I haven't cut my hair in like, it feels like forever, but it's only been like a month or two. So, but no. I did actually at one point, like a long time ago, I tried to do like the whole winter without shaving, and so I did have like a little twirl. I got the beard balm and so forth.
Yeah, the wax.
Because one of my coworkers, he grows like a phenomenal beard, and he had like the long beard twirl. Actually, two of them actually. One guy was a Hispanic guy, grew the most majestic beard
mustache.
Yes, he had a nice beard, but I think he actually shaved his beard off and just kept the mustache. But that bad boy, like, it went back into his eyes, like, almost. It was like a huge like handlebar and shit. It would be very distracting because it'd be like, dude, like, you go to a site with him, people like, instead of actually talking about like the site, people would be like, God, like, fuck, that guy have fucking nice ass beard. Like, God, I want him to procreate with my wife, and so my kids can have beards like that. Like, holy shit! Like,
them jeans.
Yeah, the jeans were amazing. I think he was just like a hairy guy, but that grew really great facial hair. But thank you for noticing that my mustache looks very glorious right now. My wife, she likes it. She likes like mustache. She hates it when I'm clean shaven. So I'm doing this for her. I love my wife.
You're a Monopoly man?
Monopoly Man.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Moneybags. You guys do.
Was
call me
it
Moneybags.
Don't Pass Go? What the
Yeah,
what's the
Don't Pass Go. Nah. Another big thing talking about big money. Do you guys play the lottery?
No.
No.
So you guys see that the lottery is up to like 1.2 billion
Yeah.
as of a couple
yeah.
hours ago.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A couple of hours ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably
so-
why.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yes, 1.2 billion.
Holy
It was a couple hours.
That's
or
how you know
yesterday.
nobody wins in.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's where all the money's going to. I mean,
Well, that's how it works.
I know. I'm just saying.
You gotta pay money. You gotta play the lottery to get the jackpot up.
Yeah, I know
And
that.
then,
Yeah.
of course, no one wins. But no one wins, and then somebody wins eventually. But yeah,
Yeah.
so do you guys not play the lottery at all? Like never?
I have family
I'll
members that
play it
do.
sometimes.
What about you, Darkside? Are you a gambling lottery man?
No, I've never really played.
You
I
never played
should
the
though. I
lottery?
should get into it.
You
No,
should.
not really. I don't know why. I've
Never?
not.
Even like a
Uh,
scratcher?
I think I bought a scratcher once or twice.
There you go.
out of-
So you've
out
played
of-
lottery.
Yeah,
to
there
some
you go.
degree.
Okay, so I did play lottery. But I've never
Yeah.
played the where you pick the
The
numbers.
big one.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
assume that's what this one is.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Do you guys
this
have
is the big
numbers
one.
or do you just go random?
I
go
picked the lost
random.
numbers probably.
I go
for it.
random too. It's the same thing, right? Statistically.
Yes, it's actually they say statistically you have a better chance of random as opposed to picking your own numbers, because a lot of times when people pick their own numbers, they pick like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They pick numbers that are very close to them. So like for like some
Birthdays
people,
and-
birthdays, or they pick
In
whatever.
Ed's case, 69696969.
69, 69, just
So about the rapper here?
One day
Yeah,
that'll
6ix9ine.
come up and
Yeah,
everyone will laugh.
everybody's
the
gonna
rapper
laugh,
here?
right? While he's raking in the billions. So yeah, like no, I played a lot. Like I always try to tell people, like people like, oh, I don't play the lottery until it gets to 1 billion. I'm like, you must be rich as shit, because I play the lottery no matter what. I think when it resets, it goes like to like 14, 15 million or something like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Still good money.
that's
It's still
fucking good
great
money.
money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
It's
like,
great money.
I can play the
yeah.
lottery I play like only 1 or 2 numbers every drawing, which comes out to maybe like $20 every 2
really?
weeks.
Uh,
And now I play like 3 different games. So I play the Powerball, Mega Millions, and Cash for Life. And I can pay that money for the rest of my life and still will never touch anywhere in the millions of money that I put in. So it's kind of funny, like people like, yeah, I only play when it comes to 1 billion. But I'm like, if I won, let's say hypothetically, 50 million, that's still
Yeah.
more money than the average person will probably see in their entire lifetime. So I'm just
yeah,
like,
most people will never see that.
this is something like the average person makes $50,000 a year. It will take
Hmm.
you. It takes you what 20 years just to hit $1 million, and most people
Yeah.
work for what 40 years. So I'm like, dude, like if I can win 40-50 million dollars even after taxes, that's still money that you would never be able to work in a natural lifetime to make. So that's why I play no
Yeah.
matter what. I don't care if it's $1 billion. I don't care if it's only $15 million. I
You know
always
what?
play.
Creamcast, I'm gonna take up gambling.
Nice.
Good.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
That was the
You
takeaway.
convinced me.
Yes, take your life
Just-
savings, take all the money that you have, every
Go
paycheck.
to the local casino.
Yes,
I'm doing it.
and bet it on black. You
Bet
have a
it on black.
Yeah,
Always bid on black.
yeah, you have a 50-50 chance. And I think that's actually, I don't even think it's 50-50. I think someone had broken it down. No,
It's more like 1090.
Yeah, it's like something, I don't think it's 50-50. It might be like 49-51 or something like that. But either
I
way,
like those odds.
yeah, just take those odds. Just always play on black.
Yeah.
Always play evens or always play odds, and then boom, you got a 50-50 chance. Either you go home, you don't have actually you probably won't have a house to go to anymore, but hey, it was all about the thrill, right? You had a good time, didn't you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
when
I
you
got a
get-
question though. Has
Yeah,
anyone
go ahead.
ever who's won the lottery are still a millionaire or rich?
Most people end
Below
up.
it?
It ends up really badly
yeah,
for them.
most people
Most lottery
Well,
winners.
yeah, most
They
likely
don't know how to
really
do
bad
it.
Time.
They don't know how to do it.
Yeah, think about it. Like, so there
We're-
was a show on
no,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a show on YouTube that
What
was
was
like
the-
that was all
oh.
about like teaching people. It was like how the lottery changed my life, and it was showing. And there's also the like top tens and all this other stuff. But you'll see that a lot of lottery winners, not just in the United States, but in the world, when they win even small amounts like $2 million, they completely lose their shit. And they say that like most lottery winners by like 5 to 10 years are either broke or even in a worse situation when they were where they were prior to winning the lottery, because people don't know how to manage money. So
Well, the thing is,
I
like,
mean-
look, most of us are used to like just having a regular pay,
Mhm.
but once you actually go to all that money at once,
Yeah, you don't know what to do with it.
none of us know how to manage it, and then you're gonna have family members that
Well, you
you've
don't
never heard of coming out of the woodwork
I know.
asking for a loan because they're really sick or something stupid.
I'm pretty sure
know.
someone on my block has won the lottery, because if you go down the block, there's like all the suburban houses, and then
Yeah.
you get to one house
It's what
that
the-
has like these
double
two like
doors.
it has to have double doors. It has
Doors
like
this
these
high?
ridiculous. I mean, imagine that regular driveway length, and they
Yeah.
have these like things on the end of the driveways that are basically gargoyles,
Mhm.
and there's always like some boat or jet ski in there, and it looks like this person won the lottery, because
Yeah.
it's
Big
like
mansion.
suburban house, suburban house, suburban house, ridiculous suburban house, suburban house,
Castle.
Yeah,
a
that's
castle.
funny.
Hey, Dracula moved next to you.
Yeah, Black
Maybe.
Girl Sack called them the McMansions. Yeah. Back when
What
we
is 0 and 00?
0
What?
and 00 I heard. I don't know. Black Girl's like, give us more clarification about the 000. But yes, so remember, I forgot. Yeah, there's green too. There's black, red, and there's also green as well. I think the greens
casino?
are I think the greens are the zero.
On the
the
roulette?
zeros, right? On roulette, yeah.
Oh, dang.
yeah.
I think someone close to you, Creamcast, might have a little bit of a gambling problem.
Well,
Maybe.
I don't know.
This
about
is
that.
information I wasn't even aware of.
Well, apparently she knows more about gambling than I do, so I don't know. She's telling us odds about stuff I don't know. Like I thought it was just black and red, but she's telling us more about
Roulette,
roulette and
odds.
so forth. Yeah, I just know that it's black and red and there's odd and even. That's all I know. So she can school us on table games and the odds. But
I want to be in the one where I can say "hit me" like 100 times.
that
Like in
is,
The Simpsons.
I think that's
He's like, "You're over 21. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hit me."
yeah.
And then he wins. Like, do you remember that? Do you remember that bit? Like, he's like, hit me, and then the guy, the dealer, like warns him, like, you have like, I forgot the number. It was impossible. It's like, hit me.
blackjack.
And
Yeah.
then,
It was
and he
way
hits
too
him.
high.
He's like 21, and then Homer's like, hit me. He keeps hitting him.
Yeah, I do remember that episode. You know, the funny thing is, there is in spades. I just found not spades. Jeez, I'm thinking there's a black people. Against, blackjack. Jeez.
Fucking throwing dice.
Yeah, I'm thinking in blackjack. So there is a payout, like a jackpot that you can win if you can get like I think it's like 6 or 7 cards in blackjack or whatever
Mhm.
without going over. You actually win like a shit ton of money. Now I'm talking about like shit, and it's almost like it's obviously almost impossible. Like you have to hit like 2, 2, 2, 3 aces and so forth, or something like that. Like something small, you have to hit to keep your hand under 21. But yeah, if you can get those hands, if you can get that hand, yeah, it pays out like a stupid amount of money. We're talking about like hundreds, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars. For
I
that.
often have planned to maybe get Ed and dress him up, and we head down to the old roulette table, and he does
What
his
do you-
Rain Man thing,
what-
and we got out of there.
Yeah.
Why do you always have this like weird fantasy of wanting to dress me up? First it's
All right, Ed, you're gonna make me
furries.
rich, Ed.
Now
You're gonna
it's
make me
Just
rich.
You
Just
know,
remember,
you tell Ed to
you
blow on the
gotta-
dice.
You
Yeah.
gotta get him a hooker in a hotel room.
Yeah.
30 minutes to Wapner.
He's got to watch his Wapner, and he'll be ready to go.
I don't know what a Wapner is, but
No, don't worry
You'll
about
find
I'll
out.
pass.
You'll
I'm
find
good.
out. You're gonna find out real soon. Apparently, Greenton, you started some beef with.
Oh shit!
Black
Oh, my
Girl
What's
bad.
Sack.
that?
Oh,
She
I
said-
was just admiring the gambling skills as well.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, y'all got some beef, so y'all can hash that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, tonight is another drawing because they actually at one point the Powerball and the Mega Millions were only 2 draws a week, but now because of the popularity of these $1 billion jackpots, they boosted it up to 3 times a week. So we have another drawing tonight, and hopefully somebody wins $1 billion. Hopefully I win. If I win, I will give each one of you guys possibly a Big Kids whatchamacallit, Happy Meal. So you'll get adult Happy Meals.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I will.
yeah. So
I will take that.
I'm gonna bless you guys with one each. Maybe
That's
two,
pretty good.
because I got a feature.
Well,
spouse.
I think if you win the lottery, I think we all get rich because we all are in a chat where a lot of blackmail is in there, and
Hey,
it can be
if I'm,
held.
no. By all means,
We just start
blackmail.
blackmailing Creamcast.
No,
It's
trust
like,
me.
huh.
No,
No,
trust me.
no. Creamcast. I'll make a deal. Don't worry about it.
No. Trust me.
Let's not even talk
If I'm,
about it.
worth,
Let's not
if
even
I'm-
talk about
if
it.
I'm worth $1 billion, trust me, I'll put the black bill out myself. I'm like, hey, you know what? I said I'll give you guys a small loan of $1 million. You know, how about that? That'll be the money that you'll recoup. But other than that, if I'm worth $1 billion, who gives a shit? Like, oh my god, Careercast, you said some crazy stuff in the chat. So what, bitch?
Mhm.
I'll throw money and make the problem go away. Fuck it. If I'm not, you know, what?
That's
I'm
why
not gonna
we
go
are
there.
going to
Just
settle
pay us off.
out of
That's
court.
all I'm saying.
No, I'm not gonna pay you off. I'm gonna pay to get you wet.
Hush money.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
a little
gonna
hush
get wet.
money.
You're gonna pay off the
Just a
people
little
when
hush
you get
money.
canceled.
No. I'm going to go and get you guys. I'm gonna get a hitman, and I'm probably gonna get the best hitman that I know, the one man that can make anybody disappear, even
Brett
himself.
David Hart.
No,
Bill
no,
Gates.
No. Oh,
Wine? No.
No,
was
it's Bill Gates.
no, it's Bill
You
Clinton.
said
Yeah,
disappear.
he iced Epstein. Don't you remember?
That was Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
Not Gates. You talking about Clinton?
Oh, I thought it was Gates.
No,
Wasn't
No.
he
it's
the one that
Clinton.
said like,
It's
well, he's
Clinton.
dead, so that doesn't
No,
matter.
Clinton.
No.
Oh, you can
It's
afford. You
Clinton.
can afford both of them.
Yeah, I can afford both of them. If I'm
Oh,
worth
that's
$1
true.
billion,
Yeah.
I can afford all of them.
You're
So-
gonna pay Bill Gates to kill someone. That's rich. That is rich.
That is rich.
Come on, that is a power move.
Yeah.
You get Bill Gates to kill.
Yeah, you can get anybody like I just pay one of the richest other richest people in the world to take care of this job for me. I'm rich.
Yeah.
Just throw money at the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're still not rich enough to buy Twitter, but it's still
Yeah.
but that's still a little bit of a chunk of change. So not
Now,
too bad.
as someone who has a Twitter but doesn't use Twitter at all,
Okay.
you think this would be like something to actually get into?
What, Twitter?
But
Yeah.
So yes and no. So the crazy thing about what Elon is doing, more so than anything else, like him firing his board of directors, kind of like what Darkseid said, you know, you're cleaning house at this point. The big thing that he's doing is he's charging now for people to get a blue check mark or to maintain their blue check mark is to pay $8 a month. Initially he was doing $20 a month, but Stephen
Whoa.
King said, he was like, yo, that's crazy. Why would you charge that for verification, this, that, and the other? So, you know, Elon Musk, he's been responding to people online like, hey, like that's a good idea. So he was like, Stephen King was like, hey, why don't you charge it to $8 or change it to $8? And Elon was like, sure, it's $8, done, give me my money. So yeah, so now people are gonna have to pay $8 to have their verification, that blue check mark. The one thing that's crazy about the blue check mark, and I'll make a short little rant about that, is the fact that back in like Twitter, that's like having like, it's like an Instagram, you have the blue check mark. Having it in Twitter gives you more clout. It gives you more accessibility to an audience because people care about the things like blue check marks because that lets you know that, hey, you're a verified person. The whole thing is to make sure that you're a verified person.
Yeah.
That's the initial thing, to say that, hey, if I'm making a parody account of Darkseid, and Darkseid is this big, you know, figure out there with millions of followers, and I make a parody account that people don't think that I'm, you know, Darkseid Prime and Darkseid is the fake one. So that was the whole point of the check mark. Now check marks are more like, there's whole businesses that literally they just try to fast track you to getting a check mark. Now it's all about clout. It's all about, you know, sponsorships, about deals, because now the check mark actually can make you money. If what is being implemented with the blue check mark, where now you can have that as a service and you pay $8 to get verified that you are who you are, let's say, that brings in a lot of money for Twitter, but it loses the prestige of what a blue check mark is or what it meant in the past. Before,
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah, before you kind of had to be, and a long time ago, you had to be pretty much invited to get a blue check mark. Now you can put in an application and say, hey, I want a blue check mark, this, that, and the other, and I want to be verified. And then Twitter would be like, hey, you're not really important enough to be verified. We don't give a shit about you. if it comes to this where it's changing, where Elon's making it into a subscription plan, it's going to lose the lacquer, it's going to lose the prestige, it's not going to be nice and shiny anymore, it's going to be a service that you pay for. How much does that kill the clout use per se? Because if I can get a check mark at, let's say, 1,000 followers, and then you have Drake who's over here with 1,000 or millions, or let's say Kim Kardashian with millions of followers, and we both have blue check marks, does it kind of lose the prestige a little bit? And maybe that's too big of a disparity. But you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Before, like, brands could say, "Oh, you're a blue check mark. That means you got a following." Now it seems like almost anybody can get a blue check mark if you can just pay $8 and send in your ID or something like that. So we'll see how it unfolds. Some people are happy about it. Some people are pissed about it. Some people like myself are neutral.
Why would people want it though? I don't understand why people.
Well, because like sponsors, people that are businesses actually.
Yeah,
give
but
out money
this would eradicate all of that.
Maybe
like this. No, not maybe. I think if you could afford it and I could afford it,
yeah.
You think we're going to get sponsorships?
Absolutely not.
We don't know.
Absolutely not.
Well,
We don't know.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not getting it. It just dilutes that path for sponsorships or advertisements. Like they can't verify what's worth it anymore. So I'm like there. I'm with you. I don't understand what this brings to Twitter. I don't understand. Like maybe I don't understand enough about the blue check mark thing.
I understand the blue check mark
that people are missing. Like, I mean, the regular person. I understand the verification. Excuse me, because you had multiple people posing as other people. So I see that as the main purpose of it. But opening it up to everyone else, I think it's just a little thing on the screen. You're an idiot. You're paying money for nothing.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing about the blue check marks is so Elon Musk actually responded. So AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she said something like, "Hey, why is it that like you're supposed to be a champion of free speech?" Because remember the whole thing that Elon Musk was saying, like he was like, "Well, Twitter has to prove one that they're not just run by bots." Like there's not just a whole bunch of bot accounts spamming stuff on Twitter, pretending to be real people, and then therefore that's moving agendas, this, that, and the other, based on a false population of people using the app. So after that got dismissed, and he ended up still buying Twitter because he broke the initial agreement on that. So he ended up buying Twitter. So like, AOC was like, "Hey, you're supposed to be a champion of free speech. Hey, there's $8. Like, why are you charging people $8 to have free speech with the blue check mark?" And what Elon Musk pretty much responded with, and it wasn't necessarily him, but just in general around this whole $8 thing, or just charging for the blue check marks, was the fact that he said Twitter can't survive off of advertisers. Advertisements, all this other stuff. Twitter can't survive off of that long term. So what he wants to do is include a subscription plan that allows people to pretty much, what do people want? Everybody wants a blue check mark, especially if you're into social media. You want to have a blue check mark. You want to be verified. You want to be like, hey, this is the real me. And I'm assuming that you have to go through a process of, submitting, IDs, this, that, and the other to prove who you are, passports, whatever. So
when everyone has it,
it dilutes it, right? But
what is the point of it?
Money.
But that's the thing for him. He's looking at it like this. It's like Twitter is like the new form of what like newspapers used to be. Like back in the day, you used to have a newspaper subscription. So before, you'll have the newspaper come to your house, especially if you were big into any type of news and you wanted to consume it in a written form. Before the internet, you had the newspaper subscriptions coming to your door, $13.99, $15.99, whatever a month. Twitter is pretty much the same thing. People consume a lot of their information on social media platforms. For me, like when I heard about another topic we're going to jump into, which was Takeoff from the Migos dying, I saw it on social media first before I saw it on a news website like CNN, Fox News, whatever, New York Times and whatnot. So for Elon, he's looking at it like, hey, if I can put a subscription model on this that people and give them a service, even though it's going to be diluted as hell, people are going to want it, at least for the short term. is going to pull in a lot of money because people.
Yeah,
are
but
gonna,
I don't think that I know what you're saying. And I, like I said, if he takes over a company, he wants to find out a way to make more money.
Right.
How do I make my money back? My
pretty
investment.
much, yeah.
Excuse me. But I don't think the verification, I think that is like, what's surprising to me is that he is, like we just said, he's diluting his own, like the what makes that special, the exclusivity of that is now being diluted. You're taking that away. Now he wants to create a subscription model. I'm all for, I get what he's saying. Offer some other services to users.
Well, he's
he's
pushing
also
he's pushing this
longer
out in 30
tweets
30
or
days.
and stuff. So
He told
yeah,
the developers
it
he has
just
30
doesn't
days.
make any sense.
He's like, you get this working in 30 days or you will be fired. So that's what he told the developers. And the developer was like, oh, we can't do it in 30 days, which is a huge undertaking. It really is. Because now you're adding, I mean, that's a big service to add. I mean, out of the millions of followers that they have, now you have to go through verification services on a much larger scale. That's kind of tricky, but I mean, he's pushing it very aggressively. So in 30 days, we'll see this new offer or his new service.
He's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. So I mean, he is where he is, and we are where we are. I don't understand.
I disagree with that as well.
I don't understand.
Here's the thing, though. Just like any other entrepreneur, he's gonna have fails. He's had a bunch of fails and a couple of wins. That's just how everyone operates. No,
I get that, but what I'm saying is, it's very obvious to me. I mean, I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a tech anyone. It's just very obvious to me that he's diluting the exclusivity of the long-term value of what he's purchasing.
Absolutely.
I don't understand it. Yeah. And there's something I'm saying. Look, I think there's some perspective we're not seeing. Where
I think there's going to be something else like added to it, because he is talking about bringing back Vine. So that might be.
Who knows? He promised a lot of things.
The problem with Vine was the fact that Vine back in the day, for people who don't remember, was like 5 to 15-second video clips.
It was TikTok basically.
Yeah, it was TikTok before TikTok. Yeah. The problem with Vine was that, and this is the reason why Vine died, is because you couldn't make a lot of money on Vine. A lot of people who make money off of Vine were able to pivot off of Vine to go to other longer form of content like YouTube,
TikTok,
Instagram, and so forth. So the people
I'm thinking of the Paul brothers.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I said I'm thinking of the Paul brothers in regards to like how they had to go from Vine to YouTube.
Well, they were YouTube
and that's where
first.
They created their money.
I think they were YouTube first.
Were they?
Yeah.
I thought they were Viners first.
I think they were YouTube first.
Logan Paul or one of the Pauls were Viners first.
Okay,
right?
They might have been first. Okay, yeah, but the thing is, like, so the long form content right now is king, because if you can put out a 10-minute video on YouTube, you can put ads on that video, and there's people who have literally videos that are hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long, putting ads into them because now they are at they can put AdSense into them, all this other stuff. So now they can make a lot of money, where advertisers can actually put in long ass commercials, or not long, but 30-second commercials, and actually get, they could pay the platform for it. But with a Vine that's 5 seconds long, 10 seconds long, 15 seconds long, nobody's gonna watch a 15-second video and then watch a 30-minute ad to watch another video. And same thing for any short form of content like TikTok. Like, you could get 1 million views on TikTok and it only pays you like $50, if that. So that's the thing, is like, these different forms of content, the long form wins. That's why these YouTubers, like the people who make the most money for the most part for social media, are people who post on YouTube and Facebook, because of the fact that long form content is king. Advertisers love that, because it's just like watching TV. You're watching a 30-minute video. It's like watching a 30-minute TV show. You have ads in it if they're monetized. So that's kind of the thing with the long-term versus short-term content. Now, with Elon doing this, he is absolutely diluting the prestige, the exclusivity of the check mark, but we'll see what happens. Do I think Elon is a genius in of himself? No, I think he just knows how to. I think he just got lucky. And I was talking to my wife. I think he just got lucky. by
Yeah.
employing people. He gets the people because I mean I'm not gonna get into it here, but there's a whole documentary
That's what all.
talking
What all
about
CEOs do.
talking about
Same
PayPal.
with the Apple guy. It's just people that are put in the right place that are able to put the pieces together, but
Get the
they
right
themselves
pieces
are not
The people
the
who-
cause
Yeah, the people who actually
of
build
the
the
success.
stuff, the people who actually
Yeah.
build these platforms, most time you will never hear about them because they get kicked
Yeah.
out. That's what happened with Elon Musk. If you see about his early business ventures, what he would pretty much do would go into a company, have the company already running or have a good product, and he will help mold it to become better. But the baseline work that was done for it, it was not him. It was never him. It was always other people that did it. And there's a whole documentary
Tesla.
of people like Tesla.
Tesla.
Tesla
Yeah, Tesla
wasn't
was
him.
founded by these two guys that were like basically responsible for having the cars run. And then everyone just gave the credit to Elon Musk for some reason, but
Well, he
he
pretty much
literally came in like,
kicked everybody
last.
else out.
yeah,
And-
he
and
came basically when they were about to reach the home plate, and he was like, "Yeah, all me, baby."
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not taking it like Elon Musk he's successful. I'm not at his level, sure, but like I said, I wouldn't say call. That's why I say I don't want to get too far into this, but I wouldn't say call him.
I'm
a
with you,
genius.
Creamcast. Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't call him a genius per se, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Twitter is the old people currently. That's what old people use. Kids ain't using Twitter like that, so it's.
Oh, it's
our
Facebook.
platform.
Okay.
Well,
And
Facebook,
the greatest president ever.
Yeah.
When is he gonna be? Is he back? Is
I
he
don't know if
allowed
he's
back?
I don't know if he's back yet, but I mean,
No, he said he'd never use Twitter again.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but
he's
he
trying
will.
to pimp his
He will.
Truth Social.
Yeah, True Social.
He's trying to get Truth Social.
Which is funny because I think Kanye's jumped on that bandwagon too with True Social.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's kind of par
Well,
for the course.
Just quickly, since we're on this, I was
So he's
actually
going after
reading an article
Parler.
right now that a lot of like tech companies actually run at a loss. A lot of them run at a loss. I don't know if Elon was aware of that, but like a lot of these companies that are worth billions and billions of dollars that are tech companies run at a loss, and then they just depend on how the hell does money work? I don't even know. When you're at that level, money works different.
Money works
You
different.
guys don't think he's aware of that?
Yeah.
No,
of
he
course
knows
he's
that.
aware
he's,
of that.
He's absolutely aware of that.
Yeah,
Mm.
you don't spend $44 billion without knowing that.
Well,
I mean,
wasn't he
he's just-
forced to buy it
He
because
was
of a
forced to
breach
buy
of
it.
Yeah,
contract?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So
he
it's not like he
overreached.
had a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, he overreached.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
tried to then bring up other stipulations, talking about like we were talking about the bot situation. Like if Twitter can prove, to me that I think it was like over a half or a little under a half of the user base are not bots, and he's like he'll buy Twitter, and Twitter was like, sure, we'll take that bet. And I think for what happened was I don't keep up with this that tightly, but I think what happened was Twitter was like, yo, you talked all this shit, we brought everything to you, and then you want to back out at the last minute. It's kind of like you can't play those games. So then he was forced to, I think under SEC was like,
FCC,
hey, like, hey, we are going to force you to buy it. You're under contract at this point, so it is what it is. Really quick, screw you, Black Girls Hack. She was talking shit, talking shit about how
Your mounts.
my mounts that I used to spend days for on World of Warcraft versus just paying for them. Because we just had a conversation about how they're bringing back.
Did you pay for them?
I think I only paid for one or two of them, but I used to
Alright.
spend like literally days waiting for a mount. There's two mounts in Anax and Time Lost Pearl Drake. I literally spent
But that has to feel better than buying it.
Oh yeah,
Like when you
absolutely.
earn it.
I
Yeah.
remember I used to skip us going out on the week.
No shit.
Literally waiting for Time Lost.
Wow.
One of those Drakes, one of the mounts was the Time Lost Pearl Drake. And I don't know how rare it is now. I still think you can't buy it or anything like that. I mean, the game's been out for at this point, or that expansion has been out for what, 10 years plus. So at this point, yeah, like probably a lot more people have it. But yeah, I mean, those are good times, very cherished memories. So
Of me sitting in the driveway for hours.
yeah, Ed would literally
Yeah.
sit in the driveway for hours waiting for me, because I'll be like, Ed, okay, I'm coming out. Give me like 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes turned to 30, 30 turned to an hour, 2 hours. And then finally I would go into his car and go. But he would be on the phone
Good
with
memories.
his girlfriend.
Good
He
memories.
was just talking to his girlfriend and so forth. So he really wasn't, he was going to be absent anyways. It was,
Which was the girlfriend at the time, Edward?
we know who it was. We were just talking about her. Bade though.
Oh, but that though.
Oh, no,
yeah,
nah.
yeah, no, it was, and it was such a simp back in the day for this girlfriend. Such good times, such good times. I
Did
hate
you
it.
watch her 4 hours of stream to get your mount?
4 hours? No,
Dreamcast?
I will be. That hasn't
Okay.
started yet. I think that starts in like a week or two. I will be doing that,
Nice.
and I have a tip to be able to get them out much easier. So,
Mm.
uh,
All right.
I'll actually have to actively watch unless they change it. So I'm not gonna tell the secret. But anyhow,
All right.
all right.
Bots.
No, not bots. Not
Okay.
bots. So moving on, talking about social media and so forth.
Yes.
I know we kind of don't cover like rap and all this other stuff, but kind of a big death in the rap industry. Takeoff from the Migos, which is for our fans that are not into rap, that's a 3-member rap group with Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset. One of the members got shot and killed over. Some people are saying a dice game. And
Ooh.
yeah,
Wow.
which is crazy. Well, some people saying it's a dice game. Some people saying it was some other
It
stuff.
had to be more than a dice game.
But no,
would've-
it was apparently one of the members of it was 2 members at this party, whatever. The guy that got shot and killed is actually like the quiet. Everybody say he's the quiet dude that doesn't start no beef with nobody. He stays in the back. He doesn't deal with any of the fuckery. One of the members was in a dice game, and was getting heated about like he was on a losing streak, had lost a lot of money, started talking reckless. The dudes that he were playing with checked him about it, and the guy Takeoff was coming over trying to like diffuse the situation and back up his. I think those two, they're all family members. The 3 members, they're family members. But I think him and him, the 2 guys are like either cousins or brothers. But he's backing up his his family, and apparently shots got fired, and he got shot twice. So once once in the neck, and I think they said once in the body. But it's just crazy, like bro, like if you're worth literally tens of millions of dollars, if not more, like why the fuck am I sitting here playing fucking dice with some random hood dudes at like what I'm saying, like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night? You know what I'm saying? Like
because he
it's just
probably was
weird.
with his cousin. It was probably his cousin's fault that he took him there.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know. No. Well, no, this is because so these guys are from Atlanta. Like Migos is from Atlanta. They were in Houston or Dallas for some event, whatever. And pretty much like there's this guy that they have to check in with. Like he's like this rap guy or whatever that people check in once they go into Houston and Dallas with, and that's who they were hanging around. But still, it's just like bro, if I'm worth like I am nowhere obviously worth that. I stay my ass home. Like you ain't gonna catch me in the hood trying to play dice with some dudes. Like I ain't worth shit. So if I'm worth millions, tens of millions of dollars, I'm not playing dice with some random ass people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just asking.
That's you though.
But
I'm saying
yeah.
But still,
isn't like some of these guys just try to, for some weird reason, stay in that life? Like, don't you remember what's it called? The Tekashi 6ix9ine. He got himself involved with actual bloods.
Yeah.
All right, like straight killers. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Well, regarding
you're
that,
an artist.
Well, regarding that, some people try to, be in that lifestyle, but I think the Migos, I don't know why he was there. I mean, I can only imagine if someone like had that much money, they would like kind of stay out of the hood. Most rappers
bodyguard
do.
with you, just something.
Well, apparently he wasn't there.
But the thing is, it's like, so long story short, the guys that they were with are like supposed to be like some black mob people, right? Black mobs. So that's what they call it, like the black mob ties, whatever. The guys that they were with, like to come into their presence, a lot of times they're only ones that have guns. Like their people have guns. If you're coming to them and hanging around them, you can't have guns. Apparently their people had guns, but then the Migos and their people didn't have guns. So whoever shot, from what people are saying, is that the people that they were coming to visit that live in Houston, they were the ones that had the guns. So whoever popped off, they were the ones to pop off first. I don't know. It's just like, it just blows my mind. Like, because we just had another rapper, PNB, another rapper that had been in the game for at least like 5, 6, 7 years. Another rapper, PNB.
PNB
PNB Rock. He
okay.
Like allegedly, we don't know about what actually.
So-
happened. This is all allegedly. Black Girls
Has
Club-
it been evaluated by the FDA?
Yeah, it hasn't been evaluated by the FDA just yet. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All this is allegedly. But
My sources. Just do the Alex Jones.
yeah,
I have
right.
the sources.
Someone get the
No,
tinfoil
no.
hats.
My sources. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, just trust me, bro. I got this. Just trust me. But yeah, it's just crazy. So ultimately, at the end of the day, like another rapper, just like literally a month or two ago, got shot and killed at a Waffle House, and it's just like if I was a rapper, like right now, I'd be like, yo, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna make music and go straight home. Like all this other crazy shit is just absolutely insane. So that was just some crazy news that happened recently. Which, like I said,
Damn.
Migos is one of the biggest rap groups out right now. Hit after hit, sold out concerts and so forth. So one of the members, it's like having the Beatles and then one of the members die, or
And then Ringo pops off.
yeah,
Gets
right.
shot.
You have the Beatles and the Ringo gets shot or something like that, or you have Aerosmith and then what's his name? I just had Steven Tyler. He gets killed, and it's just like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's a big ass deal. So
That is a
or
big
Jackson
deal, yeah.
5, and you hear that Michael got shot, like that's a
Jermaine.
big- Jermaine.
Oh.
Oh no, Jermaine. Like, everybody's like, who?
Nobody cares. about
Yeah.
Jermaine.
Oh.
Allegedly, no one would care, but that's what I'm saying. That's kind of a big deal in a rap game. So that was a crazy
Yeah.
thing.
You know
Oh.
that saying you can take someone out of the hood, but you can't take that hood out of the person.
Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly just like that. Exactly
I
just
mean, no,
like that.
that's
You can take the
The
hood
hood.
out of the someone, but the someone
Someone
out of
can
the
the
hood,
hood
not
somewhat.
take. Yeah.
really
No, but
thinking of stuff.
I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. Like I've come across one rapper. He's in the video games though, so he's
In real life?
Yeah, in real
He's
life.
probably talking about like Mike Shinoda or something.
No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like
straight up from the
450
hood.
No, but
450.
he was at a tournament called
450.
Combo Breaker. I forgot his name though.
Okay.
Wait, in
He
real
does
life?
he does a kick push song.
Wait. You talking about Lupe Fiasco?
Yes. So this is
That's
back
a
when. Hold
gangster
on.
rapper?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
he's not
saying he's a
gangster.
rapper though. He's a rapper though. This is back when
Oh.
his album was big. He was spotted at Combo Breaker. No security guards, no nothing, but he was there and people took pictures with himself. He was like in a tournament. But people may have all that money and stuff. You didn't hear that, did you?
Yes, we heard that. Yeah.
Tell her she
Yeah.
can't use a microwave
Yeah,
yet.
that
Tyler,
right,
you're
right.
potting.
The microwave is available right now. She's like, Eddie, I'm so
No, no.
hungry.
Talking about Black Panther.
Eddie, I'm so hungry. That's what you-
Your lips are all
That's a-
dry from not
that's a cool
consuming any
grandson.
liquid.
No world.
Please, a little bit of soup.
Anyways,
You're
I'm
a
sure
cruel
that,
man,
um,
you're a cruel
I'm
man.
sure that people who have a lot of money, they still have ties to the things that they're in, and they kind of jump into that once in a while.
Well,
So
the thing is, like what you're talking about is like when you think about like rappers like Combo Breaker, the only thing that you have to worry about in Combo Breaker is people just offending you with
Some
body.
nerd coming up to you.
Yeah, with body odor and shit. Like they haven't worn deodorant and taken a shower. That's the only thing that will
Probably.
probably knock you off your feet. Probably put you in the ground 6 feet deep. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's all about the
You got
environment
some
that you're in. Like
Horrible comparisons. Then
well, no, I'm
that was the
saying
worst comparison in the world.
I'm
it's
not.
I've
I'm
ever
not.
heard.
it's
I'm
a
not
bad comparison.
comparing.
Well, he's-
I'm not
I understand.
comparing. I'm saying that even though before he was into rap or whatever, he was already into video games and stuff like that. So now he became a rapper and he's making his money. He has all his money now and he's famous, but he's still into the whole, video game, fighting game scene.
Well, I think
So-
Doesn't he
but-
like
but-
Street Fighter too?
He's like Street Fighter.
But the thing is,
Yeah, but
to
not
be
KI.
fair-
I don't know.
But
He
to
was
be
a
fair-
Combo Breaker.
So to be fair, is that
Maybe he was
I think,
lost.
I think that's a bad. I think that's kind of a bad comparison at times. I think that's a bad comparison with certain points because you could still be a hood dude that likes video games and be a Combo Breaker. That doesn't.
There's
change.
a lot of hood people that love video
Video
games.
games. I think
That-
the
Well, I'm
bare
not.
point-
I'm
I
not
think-
saying
I think the
being a
bare
hood
point-
dude and liking Combo Breaker. I'm saying that he was into the whole fighting game scene before he became famous.
But
So, like, if
are these
someone is
people.
a
doesn't make any sense.
gangster rap or whatever, and then becomes famous, he's still gonna be into. Well, if someone was into the the hood and then becomes famous, he's still gonna be in the hood.
Ed's trying to say if you're really hard, you're playing Killer Instinct. Okay?
That's right.
That's what he's trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Ed is the most suburban ass dude talking about. Like if you're really from the hood and you do bad things, you might want to continue not to do bad things.
I didn't say that.
Hood people are dangerous and they scare me. When I see a black guy walking down the street, I cross the street and I clutch my purse really tight.
I try to see how low their pants are hanging.
Yeah,
and that will tell me if I should switch sides on the street.
To me, this is the point. I think this is probably a better comparison of what you're trying to say. Is that ultimately how you move in one section of your life before you, like if you were in the hood before and you make money, being in the hood is probably not the best, not in your best interest. Yeah, now, if you're in your hood where you grew up and you're comfortable, you truly know everybody, that might be a little bit different. But when you're moving into other people's hoods, you're moving across the country to another hood, you can't move the same as you would if you were back at home. So the thing is that people need to be more aware and be careful of where they're at because of the fact that people out here are grimy and they're struggling, and people can, if they can see you, they have a quick come up for a chain. They say, "Oh, I could take that chain off of you and make take the diamonds out and make a cool 100,000 on a chain that costs $1 million." They will do so without hesitation. So it's just like I just want for us as a community, black community, rap community, whoever, like just be careful out there because it's crazy. And I was like I said, I was literally just talking to my wife the other day. I was like, if I ever became a millionaire, nobody would know it outside of maybe the few things I would have, but I would definitely don't want to be like out here with diamond chains on, this, that, and the other, like all bling blinged out. I'm bringing that to 2004 terms.
Go on.
Hey, what were you doing?
Yeah. I'll be wearing the same thing I'm wearing now. If that was a
horrible
hoodie. I was millionaire.
Yeah, watch Creamcast win the lotto, and then he just next stream he has like just a wall full of like super expensive sneakers.
No. This is what I told. This is what I'm telling you honestly. If I won the lottery, I told my wife, like, first I would move. I would move completely away, like somewhere really nice in a nice gated community, nice house, and so forth. I would, give out the money that I want to give out to people. I would give out the money, and then that's it. Out of the most expensive things I would buy would honestly be a badass computer. The house would be nice. I don't need a $20 million house. A nice house in a nice area. Done.
It's too much house.
I would get point. Yeah, it was absolutely. I want a nice ass computer, top of the line computer. I would have, of course, I like a car, a nice car. Well, I have a car. What I'm saying, I will get like a nice $100,000, $200,000 car for sure. I'll have a small little fleet, but it wouldn't be a car that I would take out every day. I would have an everyday car, which I would drive 90% of the time, and then have a fun car. But other than that, I would change nothing else about how I live. I wouldn't be walking around in Gucci. I wouldn't walk around with diamond chains and diamond watches. I will be rocking a Apple Watch with some nice shoes, of course. But I even told my wife, even for the shoes, I'm gonna get them. The motherfuckers gonna be fake. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not gonna be spending all this money on shit that I don't need. Like I said, I'll have some nice cars. But most of it'd be like honestly, the house, the cars, my family, and my computer. That's it. And my health. I will spend a lot of money on my health, making sure that my heart's perfect every single fucking month. Shit like that. Like, yeah, hit me up with scans and so forth. I pay it out of pocket. But other than that, no, I'm not going out. I'm not going out to clubs trying to show off, doing bottle service and all that bullshit. Nah, I'm good. So
I'll have a new pair of Adidas.
I was gonna say I would be dead within a week.
You're
for sure.
Your feet, Ed, they look good.
No, I like
your shoes on life support.
I like the classic Adidas, the 3-stripe. I would just get that. I mean, I'm not really big on shoes or anything like that. I'll just get that. And if I would get a car, it'll be DeLorean.
Civic.
DeLorean.
DeLorean, yeah. Where he goes top speed of
those 80, are slow as hell, right?
Top speed of
but
80
it's
miles
cool.
an hour.
See, I don't care if anyone else doesn't like it. If I like it, hey, that's cool.
Actually, that's a good way to be.
Yeah, get a DeLorean. You'll still get robbed because people are gonna be like, "It's a fucking DeLorean." So, but that's okay.
Or a Tesla. Model 3.
That's the funny thing is, my wife said, the first car it would buy. And I was like, what? She's like, a Tesla. I'm like, of course he would buy a fucking Tesla.
Of
Model
course
3.
you would, yeah.
Model
It's-
3.
No, he'll get a Model S or a Model
Has,
X.
don't to worry about ever changing oil. No engine.
There's still
period.
maintenance, you know that,
Hey,
right?
do you
Yeah, but
realize
it's less
when
maintenance.
the battery goes out, you know how much the batteries are gonna cost you? When you have to get a battery
Might as well
swap,
buy a new car.
you buy
They
pretty much buy a
gotta
new
basically
car.
take the car apart to replace them batteries.
Yeah, that's like easily if you place the
It's,
battery
the
by itself,
battery is
20
more expensive.
$20,000 to
than the car.
$30,000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's like
like,
And you know,
It's a car.
because of the weight of the batteries, the tires wear out quicker
so
than a
it's
regular
like,
car,
oh
right?
yeah, I got a Tesla. And no oil change. And then 10 years from now, when he wants to either switch out the battery or get a new car at that point, then you're pretty much buying, a new Model 3 at that point because the battery is so large and it's so expensive. Hopefully, lithium charging and all this other shit will improve by then. But yeah, changing the battery is still expensive. I probably didn't think about that, did you?
Mm.
No, I thought about that.
No,
I just didn't know
he's
how much
like-
it costs.
I got,
No,
I'm
no.
gonna go get some
If you
Duracell
thought about
batteries. Give me
Ah,
Not about it.
yeah.
I would get a gold-plated Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah, you're dead. You're gonna die in the first week. First off, that car is gonna be heavy as shit. Like how
It
thick is
wouldn't
the
even
plate?
be able to turn.
Yeah, like, I could go back in and out of my car, of my garage. That's all I could do. Can't.
I can
turn.
imagine the police just robbing you, pull you over, and just take your
I get
car.
into a car crash. I just like get turned into mincemeat as I go through the steering wheel.
Yes, the car. Yeah, you'll get fucked up for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna have every crackhead chipping at your car with a chisel, trying to get them gold flakes off. So,
You think they're there to save you?
yeah, right.
Jaws of life.
I'm
They're like,
like,
"Oh, I'm in here. I'm in here. Yeah, shut up.
save me.
We almost got the door off.
Get the gold before it melts. The car's on fire. The gold is melting. Get it off.
The
just
gold
have-
burns
you
me as
just
it's melting.
You just have people following him around waiting for him to crash.
Right. Yeah.
Like I die and just turn into like a solid gold
Gold
statue.
Yeah. Here lies Green Turner. He died how he lived, rich. Oh man, that would be great. I'm not gonna lie, that would be awesome. All right, so next news, jumping off of this.
Yes.
So PlayStation and Xbox recently just released their yearly numbers for the year for their subscription services. So we had some big disappointments on both ends, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. So PlayStation, as we know, announced their new service where they're going by a tiered PlayStation Plus service, and they actually ended up, as most people probably would have known would have happened. They actually lost about 2 million subscribers in this year since the announcement, which is pretty small overall. I think right now PlayStation has the most people subscribe to their service at around 50 million, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 50
Oh,
million.
yeah, 50 million. So losing 2 million is not a huge deal for them, but I mean, it was expected. I mean, a lot of people were going to be upset about it. Change is usually not well received, especially in the gaming community. So how it turns out in the future, we don't know. But yeah, so PlayStation lost 2 million, but Xbox on the opposite end actually gained subscribers. They gained, I think they said around 23%, 25% from last year. But that does not meet the expectations of what Microsoft initially thought what it was going to be. I think Microsoft was shooting somewhere from the 70 to 80%, almost to 100%. They were pretty much going to double their subscriber count. But they only
Well,
went
that's
up.
the expectation, right?
Yeah, that was the
After all these
expectation.
major
Expectation.
acquisitions.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I said I'm high.
Big moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta recoup, just like Elon. Pretty much, you spend money, you got to make money back.
I mean, they made it back. It's just they wanted, as expected, more because it did do a lot more than, they
Well,
bought a lot of companies. Game
well, they're
Pass.
Well, they're still paying it off.
They invested a
technically,
lot, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's a
that-
lot.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do though is that why it's I think them only growing by 23% as opposed to Sony losing 2 million is the fact that Sony just changed the structure of their platform. and they did buy some studios, but there were studios that were pretty much already in the bag for Sony. But for
Bungie.
yeah, like, Bungie, I think they brought Blue Point,
Oh, Blue Point. Yeah,
Blue Point, which did the
Point.
Demon Souls remake.
they're
Blizzard,
already
right?
you're actually they're like second party games already.
Yeah, what you say,
Yeah.
Green Star?
Blizzard, right? Blizzard.
No, that was
No,
that's
That's Xbox.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
through Activision.
Yeah,
Activision.
the bill is considerably higher on the Xbox side,
Right.
so
that's
the expectation is higher for them to
Higher.
recoup.
Yeah, so that's why it hurts more on the, even though Xbox game subscribers, it hurts a lot more because they paid a lot more money through the new acquisition of, well, and the acquisition actually is being contested right now for Activision and Blizzard. So in Europe, I think the I forgot what they're called. Is it SEC? No, it's not SEC. Whatever. The
Oh,
European
yeah, I don't know.
Union, I'll just say for lack of, I forgot the actual organization, but they are contesting, well, Sony is contesting in Europe, I
Oh,
believe,
right. Yeah.
the merger, because they said that by them getting Activision, primarily Activision, that it would cause an unbalance in gaming monopolization in gaming deployments in the future with like Call of Duty games and so forth.
Unbalanced in the force.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
So for right now, Xbox is currently fighting that in court, so we'll see how that happens. How much would that be a blow, do you guys think, that if Xbox does not get Activision and Blizzard, how big of a blow do you think that would be for Xbox?
Well, isn't Call of Duty like the highest paid or bought game for the past 5-10 years?
Probably.
Isn't
I
that
don't know.
FIFA? Isn't that EA?
I think FIFA is always
FIFA
FIFA is
that?
the highest.
I wouldn't be surprised if FIFA,
Yeah,
because
isn't it?
Oh wow.
we could look it. I could look it up while we're talking.
But Call of Duty's up there.
Call of
without a
Duty's
doubt.
definitely
Yeah, it's way up there.
For
That's why-
North America, at least, we know it's a huge.
North
seller.
America. It is probably
Yeah.
right after Madden.
So I think it would affect it. Yeah, I don't think they'll. I mean, they got so many companies now that it won't affect as much. But
No,
it's,
but it
don't
would still
think
sting
so.
though.
yeah, what's sting
This
with
is
it?
this is the feather in their cap. All these acquisitions, this is the one that they have.
Yeah, prestige wise, I think Blizzard is up there.
And this is the one that Sony's going to, reacting to, talking about that imbalance. Everything else, they can figure out, but that imbalance comes from Call of Duty Activision,
Yeah,
because
Call
it's
of
such a
Duty-
big part of the industry.
Call of Duty
and if one-
was the top selling
yeah.
video game. I mean, just in the US in 2021.
Mm. Yeah, that's expected.
So
So yeah, I don't know. It could I don't know which way this will go. I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, Microsoft will get what they want, just because I'm sure there's a little payola involved in there, as big companies do.
right.
They're not the first to do it, to squeeze it past. But I think that it's how you manage it.
Yeah.
It's not really owning it. Like, I mean, we're talking about Game Pass, falling short. Why did it fall short?
Just doesn't
I-
have the
I-
games at the moment.
You just can't you just can't purchase companies. You gotta bring something new to the table.
Yeah, I mean, think of like
Well-
games like Scorn. Scorn came out and it's already relatively forgotten already.
Yeah.
The player base, and then Scorn is now a long game in of itself.
Mhm.
But I mean, Scorn was hyped. I mean, our very own the Ed Underground was playing it for a day or so, and really
Hours.
the game, the game doesn't even last that long past what
No.
he played. So the game is one of those things, like the replayability of it. I've seen nobody really go crazy about replaying it. It's just one of these games, like it's a quick hit, you hit it and quit it type of situation. And
Yeah.
the problem with Game Pass is just it doesn't have any games, even today, still don't have games. Like, people, even though Sony keeps saying, like, oh, you only play first party games, but that's what draws people in. People want the first party games. Now you have third party games that are really good that still do well, absolutely, but nothing draws in fans or it doesn't draw in consumers more than first party high budget AAA titles. So it's just like, man, I want Game Pass to be successful. I really do. But the thing is like every time I look at Game Pass, there's nothing that's really going to keep me there long term past a month at a time. And it's just like, okay, I'll come in, play a game. What I'm going to do for the rest of the couple months. Like, I know there are games coming from good studios. Like we have Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is always known for their action games. Where are the games at? I mean, we see trailers. I want to see games. And Xbox, I don't think is going to see any big growth until we see more consistent games come out. And I think what they say, they want to come out with a AAA title.
Jesus.
Well, they want to come out with a AAA title. They said, every quarter? They want
every quarter, yeah.
It goes every quarter.
Yeah, so we haven't seen that yet. And that's kind of like, where is it at? Like, it's cool that you got 23% growth just from the promise, but gamers are not here for promises. They're here for actual games.
Well, the games that have come out, it's just that there hasn't been like a game that people would go back to monthly, if that makes any sense, to keep you subscribed. I would say for me, it would be Dead by Daylight, and I think Overwatch 2 is...
Those are free to play. Overwatch 2 is free to play.
Okay, well, I saw it from Game Pass, but Dead by Daylight.
When is the next
free to play.
Elder Scrolls dropping?
We don't know yet. No one knows.
Because that would probably be like the big one that would keep people playing for a while.
Yeah. If you came out with a Skyrim 2 or something like that, people would shit.
Because they announced it a while ago, right?
Wasn't
it called something?
Remember when
the
acquisitions took place and we were debating whether or not Call of Duty would be exclusive or not exclusive or how that would look like. Phil Spencer just said that as long as there's a PlayStation, Call of Duty will be on it. So, I mean, that kind of puts that to bed. But how that will look, and what that means for Elder Scrolls, I don't know. So if they're like we talked about this months back, they're not purchasing all these studios to just keep it on Game Pass. Excuse me. They're purchasing value in the gaming industry to make money off of it through PlayStation, through a Nintendo. They just want to keep making more money. So it's not about acquiring these major brands, Bethesda and all these, and just like locking them up behind Game Pass. It's, just more revenue streams. And, they, of course, the side effect is that they will have smaller projects, I believe, smaller projects that Bethesda is making, smaller projects, first party projects. That'll be your Game Pass draws. But Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, I think these are going to be available on all platforms.
I think it's more appealing on Game Pass though, because like, let's say you own an Xbox and a PlayStation, and Call of Duty was on Game Pass. Would you rather spend $60 and then plus all the DLC that's going to come with it on PlayStation, or get it for $15?
It's cheaper than buying an Xbox and getting the service.
Yeah, Game Pass for a year is probably, I know what you're saying, but it depends what you get, what you're interested in.
And most people
there's some people who only play Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I know some people who really just got an Xbox just because of Game Pass, because it comes with I think a free 3-month Game Pass subscription, and then $1.
They made it easy. I know you can finance an Xbox too through Microsoft.
Oh yeah,
you can
heard about
pay
that
$30 a month or something.
Yeah,
heard about that too. But someone asked me recently, I think it was yesterday, if I was going to stream on Monday to play some Call of Duty, and I said, "Does it look like I'm gay? Because I don't play Call of Duty." And I think I'm not sure.
Canceled. Canceled.
That's
Canceled. You
I'm
just
just-
so casually threw that in there. You
No, I'm just saying.
TV/The Ed Underground.
Yeah, that's
Yikes.
definitely the Ed Underground.
Hold on, let me
Yikes.
distance myself.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Ed, you just pretty much do you want to loosen up that rope just a little bit? Because you're definitely about to take yourself out.
I'm not a Call of Duty person, but if Call of Duty was on Game Pass, I wouldn't mind playing it. I'm not going to spend $60 or whatever to play a game I'm not really going to be invested in. So that's why I'm saying, if it was on Game Pass, I think it's more appealing on there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, never mind. We keep
And there's other games that's been on Game Pass, like a Plague's Tale. That got, I think, a 9 out of 10. And that's on Game Pass. I will never buy it, but because it's on there, I'll try it out.
You see, like the three of us, I just really want. You see, the three of our faces are just kind of like, oh fuck, like
Oh my
Hold
god!
on.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
We were
There we
like,
go.
ooh,
oh, if Green Tuner is
ooh.
cringing, then you know you fucked up. He's the one.
guy- Yeah, if
He's
the
the
guy
one.
that makes a bunch of Nazi jokes is cringing at your joke,
Yeah, like,
you really gotta
Fuck.
take
Well,
pause.
well, looks like you're,
I'm
Green
not
Tuner.
a
Looks like your work
Call of
is
Duty
cut out.
person.
Yeah, it looks like your work's cut out.
Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. So,
Yes.
in recent news with PlayStation pushing out their subscriber numbers and so forth, they also revealed that the PSVR 2 is being released for $549.99. Now, I am not I'll be honest, I am not a VR person whatsoever. I literally just had this conversation with a person talking about, hey, what should I buy my 3-year-old nephew, about to be 4? Like, hey, what do we want to get him a VR set? And I said, no, he don't want to get a VR set because the prices are expensive as hell. Now, if you're gonna get a VR set, get something that's on the phone. Like with remember Nintendo had the little
Oh, with the
thing?
Google glasses
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
could build your
Oh,
own
yeah.
glasses and use like a screen
Yeah.
or whatever.
Cardboard
Yeah,
thing.
cardboard thing. Yeah. So I was like,
Oh,
no.
I think they discontinued that though.
I think
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did.
Yeah, they did.
Where you
They
could
did.
build like robots and all that. That was so
Yeah,
creative.
That was
They did.
creative.
Yeah.
And Nintendo, going back to his, games and toys roots, definitely did do something very innovative and cool with that. But it's kind of like the way of the Virtual Boy. It's like it's cool, but it's actually gonna stick. And obviously we saw
Yeah.
it didn't. But so yeah, I was talking about like, hey, for a VR set, like, they were kind of naive, thinking like, oh, I could buy a VR set for the cheap, and then I showed them these prices, and now with the PlayStation VR 2, like that's a damn near a console. That is a console.
That is a
That's-
console.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, at this point, like, VR is very expensive, but I have no personal experience with the PlayStation VR set. I don't know if anybody here has had. any
I did. I
experience.
played PSVR, and it is cool. I played the Rick and Morty game, and I played the Arkham in VR.
Mhm.
And they're cool experiences, but they're not full games, and it's not there yet. But I
It's
can
not.
see the absolute potential is
Mm.
there. PlayStation 2 VR, it sounds really cool, and all the improvements they made are cool, but too expensive and not enough games. So I could see
How much
myself
is the
very much getting
Oculus?
this.
Like
a couple
3
years.
something.
It's like I thought Oculus is like
Oculus
two,
Go.
I think the
like 2-3
least
something.
costing one's like 3 something. Because I did buy one I think 2 years ago for an ex-girlfriend for her birthday.
You bought an
Yeah.
Oculus?
Not for myself.
Oh,
Yeah, for an ex-girlfriend 2 years ago.
Well,
Okay.
yeah,
It was
that's still
2 years
the
ago.
point. Is did you buy one?
I bought it. It wasn't for myself, but I did use it, and it's.
did you
it's
try
not-
it?
Yeah, it's not there yet. It's not there.
Oh,
yet.
really? Oh,
Oculus
okay.
is 300. If you like, there's different versions of it. 300. There's 600. There's 400, depending on what type of version you get. So yeah, they're still stupid expensive.
Yeah, I gotta.
But even the PSVR, it's not there yet either. I mean, it's fun for like a good 30 minutes, and then the game's over. And
All right.
yeah,
I guess
just-
the message is more people. I mean, if you're interested in VR, start dating the Ed Underground. I mean,
Yeah, apparently.
pretty much.
These
Ed,
are
what are you
some
doing this
epic
weekend?
Yeah,
presents.
freaking-
Damn.
not
Wanna go-
you,
Ridiculous.
No?
not you.
Come
No,
on,
no,
Ed. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
no. I'm definitely knocking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, knocking around, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're in the market for a VR set, there you go. If you're a PlayStation owner,
If you're a woman and want a free VR set,
yeah,
hit up the Ed Underground.
Hit up the Ed Underground.
No,
He's a sugar daddy.
yeah.
No.
One thing you'll
No.
know that he doesn't actually play. He doesn't play Call of Duty, so he's interested in you. So
You know he only likes women because he doesn't play
play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. So just had to get that little zinger in there.
I'll
So-
play Overwatch.
Yeah, but okay. So yeah, so that's PlayStation VR 2, $549. We'll see what happens with that.
Does Xbox have anything VR? Just the 3D thing, right?
Yeah,
where
it's
they
called,
have
it's
like
called the
Conquer
Xbox.
jumping on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your Xbox. It's virtual reality. It doesn't actually play games. It doesn't-
Xbox has invested in the Connect, and the Connect will come back,
Oh,
I'm
God.
sure.
No, not. Remember there was one where they had a Conquer, the little squirrel.
Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
No, but they had. Well, go figure. Instead of using them for something like that, they just used them to showcase.
Oh no,
Their-
Microsoft.
They have
VR
a,
thing.
they have an AR headset. They do have an
Microsoft had
AR
a headset.
headset. Yeah,
But it
Oh,
wasn't an Xbox.
AR. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that Microsoft is working on a VR headset. It's just they're trying to integrate it into, like they do, into their vast ecosystem.
They always do it. Was
All
it
they're like, yeah, if they can't get
Plate?
Excel spreadsheet on it, that's not ready yet. So
Yeah, what is it? Plate? What was that one that they were trying to push?
Plate.
Glass.
Oh,
right?
Glass.
Yeah.
Well, that's Google Glass.
yeah.
That's Google.
Was it Google? No, but
No, it's Google
Microsoft
Glass.
had one too.
No, Microsoft did
Microsoft-
have
Yeah,
a
they have a glass.
thing.
Yeah.
It actually looked
Mhm.
nice, but it was a Microsoft thing, not necessarily an Xbox thing. But
Oh, okay.
You know,
I-
so yeah,
but I wouldn't
Microsoft-
relate
it's
to
called,
VR.
Microsoft had what it called HoloLens. That's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
HoloLens. Yeah, I mean, Microsoft, man, outside of like, I'm gonna be careful.
Windows.
Yeah, Windows and like PCs and so forth, like, and they don't even actually make the PCs themselves. It's just like, geez, like Microsoft, they come out with some cool stuff, and Sony too. Like they come out with some cool stuff, but it just doesn't stick. It's just like the technology's not there. They jumped the gun, and that's why I never got into like VR, because I'm like, I don't want to sit here and just play Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Beat
You
Saber,
know,
yeah.
Beat Saber 2, Beat Saber 3, like that's cool and all, but do I really want to do that? Like
No.
cool things like that I still think is like cool as shit to this day is like the Wiimote. Like playing Wii bowling and so
Wiimote
forth.
is badass.
That and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Wii tennis and Wii golf. That
Remember
shit was
when you
cool.
were fishing in the Zelda games? How good
Yes.
that felt?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I would just literally just spend hours doing the stupid fishing thing with the Wiimote,
But
just
Mhm.
catching fish.
But the thing is, look at it like this also. Remember back in the day with the Sega Saturn or Sega Dreamcast, where they
Yes.
had the Sega Bass Fishing, and they had that one fishing game where the fish was a face of a person.
A
Seaman.
face, yeah.
Seaman.
Yes.
Seaman.
Seaman.
So like they had, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but the Dreamcast had reels and so forth, similar to an extent
Mhm.
like the Wiimote. Now I don't think it was completely wireless like the Wiimote, if I remember correctly. It wasn't wireless, but they had the technology somewhat working back then. I say all that to
Mhm.
say is that like with the VR headsets and so forth, I feel like we're not there yet with the VR headsets, but in the next, I guarantee in the next 10 years, VR would probably be a much bigger thing.
I can see
If
that
it
too.
catches
if it
on,
catches,
right?
because I remember back in the
Because
day,
remember
they used to have-
3D?
Well, not even 3D.
Everybody was going nuts over 3D TVs.
Well,
they
remember
were
back in the day, they had
Everywhere.
the
And curved
goggles.
TVs.
They had the
I'm not
goggles.
3D.
Remember the
Yeah.
goggles that was supposed to mimic like sitting in front of 100 like inch TV or something like that. Like that was supposed to
Yeah.
give you the perspective. And most people said it just gave me a headache. It was
Yeah.
like, I feel like that is going to be the future in some form. But I mean, I just feel like
3DS.
3DS.
Yeah.
Well, no,
same thing.
3DS was okay.
No, people were saying that they were getting
a headache?
like
Yeah.
nausea and things like
No.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I did too. I got used to it. My brother had a
I think
3DS.
3DS was an amazing technology for like
Yeah.
no glasses 3D
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the slider. Really amazing.
It was
Yeah.
But it's one of those cool things Nintendo can do and market. Nobody else like. I mean, a phone company could have done it, but
But it didn't catch on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it didn't
Like,
catch
it's
on,
not
yeah.
part of the Switch or
even
anything
Nintendo,
like
even Nintendo couldn't get it to be implemented into a cool
Mainstream.
game system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't make
It
it
was just regular games that were just popping out a little bit.
yeah.
that. I think all these companies are just trying to see what sticks.
Mhm.
And some of it does, some of it doesn't. It just happens all the time.
Yeah, well, but DLMax says like the 3D has a little practical use in games, which is true. It was like for the 3DS, outside of the few games where it worked very well, it wasn't a huge like it doesn't actually affect the gameplay of the game. It just gives it a cool effect, but it's not like that 3D viewing is going to be somehow game changing in how you play the game. It's not like now all of a sudden like you play Pokemon or you play Zelda and it's like, holy shit, like I can have Zelda, you know, or Link run off and jump onto the car and, you know, fight Ganon, you know, on a, you know, whatever on the table or something like that. Or I can kind of have a holograph and I can take over Link and I can swing the sword as if I'm Link. It doesn't actually change anything. So
Screw
it's a
that.
it's a
I
gimmick.
just want
It was a gimmick.
I just
that was
want
cool.
3D Garuda women. That's all I
Oh
want.
god.
Just all my waifus just come to life.
If they ever can make waifus like in a game come 3D,
That's bank right there if they did.
whoever does that will guarantee
Bank.
outside. That's bank. That's
He'll
money.
go down in history.
He will go down
as
in
the
history.
greatest inventor.
And the extinction of the human race, because all these nerds out there will be like, girls suck. Like my waifu, blah blah blah. Like I gotta say,
It'll
you guys,
be like Idiocracy, where all the smart people were too busy making erectile dysfunction pills, or no, was it hair loss pills?
Hair loss.
So
and
all the
erectile
dumb
dysfunction.
people procreated.
yeah, that's pretty what's gonna happen. So yeah, that person is gonna make a lot of money, but they're gonna be living on pretty much. They're gonna make the human race extinct, or at least for like China and Japan, where they're already suffering from declined birth rates, but they haven't come out
like
with
the
some
one
3D
guy
stuff.
that married the Avatar in
Oh, yeah.
Japan.
They do.
Wait,
all,
what?
They do it all the time.
Yeah,
They do it all the time. So
some guy in Japan had like a virtual girlfriend. It was like a little. Speaking of 3D, it was like a little 3D model thingy that was in a capsule, and he would
Mhm.
talk to it and everything.
Yep. And I think, but then they make fun of him because the batteries died or something like that, or they're
Yeah,
like,
and he ended up losing his wife.
yeah, he ended up losing her. Or
Oh,
some
he
shit like
he
that.
had a wife too?
Yeah, he actually.
No, that
married
was
her.
his wife. He
Yeah,
married
he
the
married her.
hologram.
Oh, he lost how?
I think they said it was a
Okay.
glitch. Something happened.
Yeah.
I think there was something with it was a glitch.
He
in
got
the system.
hacked.
A glitch in the system, or like the battery died or something. He lost like some memory or some shit, and it pretty much fucked up, and he ended up losing his wife. So it sounds really
Wow.
like depressing, but it's like this is like some fucking pixels, dude. Like go outside and touch.
I
the
know
grass,
we're
man.
laughing over here, and the guy probably went through some deep trauma.
Yeah, like talking to
Whoa.
like I lost my wife, man, and the therapist is like, "Oh shit, tell me about it." Like fuck, she
It's
turned
like
off.
a group meeting with people that actually lost their significant other.
Like, God damn.
He's like, the last words that I said were, "Wake me up at 6 a.m."
or something weird like she short circuited and I tried to fix her board.
Or system update required or something like
Yeah,
that.
like, I tried to get her bigger breasts and I tried to do system update and it fucking crashed. And I was like, I got a blue screen of death and that's all I have. She's gone. She's lost in the matrix. Like it's super weird. But hey, you know what? I'm not here to king shame. Whatever you're into,
Yeah,
do you, man.
Yeah.
Have a good time. All right, last random thing that we're going to talk about, and before we get into our main topics, which we've been talking about a lot of random shit race this past hour, hour and a half almost. Damn, Henry Cavill.
Holy shit.
I think this is probably the thing that we probably care
Yes.
most about anything. Henry
Oh, I
Cavill.
for sure care about this a lot.
We just talked about last week how Henry Cavill is pretty much going to be returning as Superman in Man of Steel 2 and be part of the DCEU at this point. Something that all us nerds have been talking about for a very long time. You know, some people don't like him because he's too big and buff, but I say fuck you.
Who's that?
Yeah, who's that?
Darkseid.
Anyone in this chat?
Yeah.
Darkseid?
No, never said anything about
You
Superman.
stupid asshole.
Yeah, I thought.
Fuck
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, there we go. That's
Yeah, I've been working
There's
out with
the-
that. Me
I want
too.
the proportions of an Ed Underground is what I'm saying. That's the Superman.
That's right.
See, that's where it
That
starts.
is correct.
Starts with the fever, the rage, and there you
The
go. We got
rage.
dark side. So no, so yeah, he but because of that, with great power comes great responsibility, and we suffered a major loss. Henry Cavill will no longer play Geralt Rivera.
Rivia.
Rivia.
Rivia. I keep
Riviera.
Riviera. Fuck you guys. I'm
Big
saying
fan,
Riviera.
ladies and gentlemen.
Fake
Big
fan.
fan.
Yeah, I love The Witcher. I love the Bitcher. I love the Bitcher.
The picture.
Love the Bitcher. But yeah, he's leaving as Geralt or Geralt. Jeez, Geralt, and he will
Galadriel.
be replaced with Liam Hemsworth. So
Boo.
yeah, nobody. I have not seen one person. Not take it back. I've seen like one or two people who were like, "Man, Liam Hemsworth, he's gonna be awesome." But every single post, like, "Yo, like everybody says, like why don't they just cancel Witcher after
Yeah,
season
just
3?
they cancel everything else.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Just cancel The Witcher.
What's probably going to happen is they're going to have 1 or 2 seasons of The Witcher with Liam Hemsworth. They're going to randomly cancel it at some point
quietly.
and quietly. I mean, it would be dope as hell. Like this would be like tight as shit if like they had like Liam Hemsworth be like Geralt for like a season or 2, and then Harry Cavill comes back like nothing happened. Like you missed me.
That'd be hilarious.
That
It was
would
all
be-
a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream. Like Yennefer, gave him some concoction, knocked him out or some shit.
There's
That'd be-
VR.
That'll be awesome. That would be fucking amazing. But yeah,
Well,
he'll
I
never.
think because he was familiar with the character, so people were like, "Oh, okay." He played the video game and everything, so people were really psyched
Yeah, he's
that
read
you
the
had
books.
someone playing the role that was familiar with the character.
It's
Yeah.
sort of Henry Cavill, but I mean, people like Henry Cavill more than whoever this guy is. I can't think of
That's
one
what
person.
I'm talking about. Henry
Yeah.
Cavill's the one that was playing the game.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, Liam Hemsworth. I'm trying to think of what was the last role that I see him in.
That hacker movie, right? White Hat or something.
The last movie you saw him was Thor.
He was in
It
Thor.
wasn't Thor.
Yeah, he plays like he's the actor who plays his brother in the theatrical productions inside Asgard.
Yep. Last one.
That's
yeah,
literally
Thor.
the last thing I've seen him in.
Yeah, so Thor
Ah,
is a
okay.
good one. I'm trying to look at I'm looking at his IMDb. Let me see. He actually was. Oh wait, they
Need
said
something more memorable.
They said they have an episode at 441. Okay, so I guess they're already putting him into The Witcher, because it says it's 2019, but they have him at episode 41, so they already put him in. Yeah, it would be Thor. Actually, no, Thor's not even on this list. Are
Wow.
you sure that is that actually him, Liam Hemsworth and Thor?
Was he in Love and Thunder?
He's not. He's not on here on his IMDb.
Maybe he's uncredited.
Maybe he's probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't
Hunger-
imagine him not being on
Hunger
credit.
Games. I do remember him in Hunger Games. So yeah. Other than that, he's not really well known. I mean, he's well known by name. I think mainly because of his brother. So
It's because of his brother.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
pretty much.
no one really knows him outside of that. I don't think no one really cares. But they definitely don't want him in. They definitely don't want him in The Witcher. So I'm just like, give the man a shot. Let's see what happens if he
Boo.
It's a bad move.
if he turns into
My
a
part.
good.
What if he's
Geralt.
a bigger fan? What if he's like the super Witcher fan?
Super
No,
Witcher fan?
He's
There's
reading
only
all
one.
this and crying at
No.
home. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love
The Witcher King. He played the wrong video game.
Like he's
You play
like,
Bayonetta instead.
The
Yeah, he
Witch
played-
King. He
the
played.
Witch King or something like that. He's like, hey, I know everything about this. Or he played like Dark Souls. He's like, I just know I died like 50 times. That's all I know. I mean, we don't know.
Comes in medieval armor.
Has there ever been a series that a main character was replaced with someone that was successful?
There has to be.
Main character.
I know. I'm saying there has to be.
I can't think of one.
That the main character was replaced with. I can't think of anybody.
I mean, it's gonna go far, but this is a real reach.
A
thing
real
I'm thinking
main
of is-
character, not a cartoon character.
Don't say Spider
Well,
Man.
the only thing I'm thinking of is Bewitched. I don't know if you guys ever watched Bewitched.
Oh, that's
No.
come on.
Darren. When they
That's a
replaced
major show.
Darren's. It was a major show. It was a big deal. They
Back
replaced
then,
them Darrens.
was it successful? though?
Oh, I have one. They actually took her off the show because she fucked up.
Hmm.
She said a whole bunch of like racist, like anti-Semitic shit.
Gina
Uh,
Carano?
Oh, boy.
No, or
I said replace.
Oh.
that actually replaced it, not just killed her. But she's the name of the show, Roseanne.
Roseanne, yes.
Yeah, they actually took her off the show completely.
They
the show
completely
didn't
removed
replace
the
her.
character.
They didn't replace
They
her,
replaced her.
but they killed her
Oh.
off, and like the
And
whole
then
show.
the show died.
No, actually, show was actually
No, the show continues. The
Yeah.
Connors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Good
don't watch
show.
Encounters.
yeah, it's actually people have actually said the show's gotten better.
I
Honestly.
love
Really?
yeah.
I love Roseanne and I love that universe.
So yeah,
Oh,
I
that's-
was never a big
I
fan
just
of
looked it up.
Roseanne.
Another problematic person, House of Cards.
Oh yeah,
they did.
but they never
Yeah.
replaced him.
They
They never
replaced
replaced
They
him.
just got rid of him.
Well, same
They
thing
killed them
like
off.
Roseanne is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm told replacement, not killed off, not whatever.
2.5 Men.
That
Oh,
didn't do
yeah.
so
They,
well.
re-
That didn't
Yeah.
do so well.
But it was a different
Ashton
character.
Kutcher.
It was a different character.
Huh?
But no, he
I
was
mean, but
replaced. though.
practically the role was replaced, even though it was a different
Yeah.
character.
But that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, I'm looking.
Eh.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and I'm looking for shows. It says shows that replaced their leads and how long they survived. So,
Oh, its favorite show, Batwoman.
Batwoman,
Mhm.
uh, 2.5 Men.
They survived.
2.5 Men survived for another 4 seasons.
no, Batwoman.
Batwoman, yeah. The show that I brought up, The Connors. The Connors they brought up.
Yeah.
Charmed. Cheers.
Oh, Cheers
So
died.
Cheers.
Though.
Cheers is really. It didn't die like. Okay.
I mean, what?
None
Two
of
more
these- none of
seasons?
these-
And
None of these are replacing the
Replacing,
character.
yeah,
They're
that's what I'm
adding a
saying.
new character.
Yeah,
Well,
they're just
I'm-
adding a new character.
I'm saying the main character replace. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. The main.
And we know
character.
what you're
No, I
saying.
got you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, the
Well,
mom from
Spartacus.
Fresh Prince.
Spartacus.
Even though I don't know if she
Oh,
was the main
Spartacus.
character.
They
Yeah,
did
yeah, yeah,
replace it.
Spartacus.
They did replace it,
Yep.
but they had to
Yep.
because the main
had
character
to.
he died
He died.
from lymphoma.
Or besides someone actually dying in real life,
No,
like
the replacement.
Oh,
is
no,
replacement.
no. Stop with your stipulations.
Yeah,
you,
No,
you
no.
didn't put the stipulations beforehand.
Yeah, Spartacus. So, yeah, that's one. So that's the one, and it still did very
Got you,
well.
Ed Underground.
Yeah,
you bitch.
boom. Yeah, gotcha.
That's right.
Done.
false.
Finished.
Nah, just
Finish
False.
him.
quit this podcast
False.
and Shane.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
False.
Combo breaker. Yeah,
False.
suck it. Suck my left toe.
It's right.
Yeah, suck my dick from the back, bitch.
What? What in the world?
That's from
Oh, and Viv.
What in the
And Viv.
and Viv. Yeah,
And
That's what I
Viv.
just said. That's
Bandito
what I
Mac.
said, yeah.
Nah, Bandito Mac said it. But
Oh,
yeah.
hell no. I
Nah.
said that before.
Bandito
Nah,
Mac.
Nah, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll live
No,
in
that's from
my
it was from a talk show. They said like when he got somebody real good, he'd be like, yeah, suck my dick from the back, bitch. And hey, I got you. So you really thought you had a point, huh? You really thought you had it. You were like,
Just
yes.
look at you, looking
Who?
all
Yeah,
stupid.
You
there.
looking all dumb.
Look,
No,
look at
I
that
was
stupid
just-
face you have.
Asking a general question. That's all.
That's right.
okay,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
No,
That's
you
all
look
I'm asking.
stupid. All right.
No, because I would
Shut
like
up.
to know because from my
Shut up.
perspective, I've never seen a
Well, now you know.
Well, now-
series.
Yeah, that's right.
Talk about shows.
You've been
it's funny.
taught, bitch.
It's funny you talk about all these shows, like you've seen shows, like you've seen and watched all these shows, but you can't watch the shows that we need to talk about on the podcast. So
Did I?
talking
Or
about
did I
that,
not?
well, we're about to find out. So transitioning. So moving on to the next topic. So the main two things that we want to talk about for this episode were She-Hulk
Mhm.
and also Rings of Power. So which one? You guys want?
Galadriel.
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 What show you guys want
Isildur.
to? Isildur.
Up to you guys.
What you guys want to kick off first?
Well, I want to hear Ed's thoughts on Rings of Power for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
kick
let's
off.
start with Rings of Power.
I wish we didn't, but I want to do She-Hulk.
Well-
Well, I want to knock out the Laura show.
All right.
No. Let's
Well,
talk about Rings of Power.
alright.
Let's go. We can do it. It's fine.
Sure.
Let's
You
talk
don't talk
about Rings of
about
Power.
what we call it first?
No, let's talk about Rings of Power. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Ed, so
Let's do
what
it.
do you think about Rings of Power?
But before we even get into Rings of Power, then
Sure.
I want to know who here thinks I saw it, who here thinks I did not see it.
I didn't think you see it. I didn't think you saw
I
it.
don't think you saw it.
I believe you saw it. I trust Ed. I believe
I
it.
don't.
trust him.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 1.
I don't want-
Yeah.
2 believe I didn't
2 out
see
of
it.
1.
1 believe I did see it.
Just go.
Or
with
2
it.
out of 3.
I believe you
What?
watched every episode like you said you would.
Okay, well, guess what? Drum roll. I did watch every episode. I did watch every episode.
You watched
There you go.
every episode.
Yes, every episode.
Every
Okay.
episode.
Every episode.
Okay, let's talk
Every
about
episode.
it. All right, let's kick it off. So what you
I'm
think?
happy to be proven wrong.
So yeah, I'm surprised. I'm flabbergasted.
I'm not surprised.
I'm very surprised.
I
Not
am
at all.
surprised.
And Dark Side's not surprised either.
But we'll find out if you actually watched it or not. So what you think about it?
Very slow in the beginning, but I did appreciate it. Love the tone. I think visually, this is my favorite streaming series. Obviously, I mean, he's spilling what a million an
gorgeous.
episode. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everything about this, it's gorgeous. The cinematography, the soundtrack, the characters. I can't think of one actor that I did not like. I like every character.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a character I didn't like.
Yeah, I was trying to think of one too.
Maybe the queen a little bit, but then eventually she won me over.
Nah, there's
The
one person.
the queen of the island,
the kid.
Isildur.
Isildur. Yeah,
Isildur.
Isildur
No,
was lame.
so-
He was kind of
Yeah.
lame. Yeah, he was kind of lame because I think there's definitely gonna be more that's gonna happen with him after the fact. I haven't read the books, obviously, so that's just. But like, like until I see a body, I don't think he's dead.
Well, obviously, he's not dead.
He's
He can't
not.
be dead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well,
He
because
can't be dead.
I was like, he can't be dead because they were talking about Isildur, come to the wind, come to the wind. I'm like, all right, they're gonna pay this off, or they're gonna even remotely talk about this shit in the first season. And they kind of just like Isildur is just like, I hear voices. I'm gonna go on this expedition. So I was like,
Well,
I was
so
hoping
it's
they didn't leave
Cut off the
nothing.
hand of Sauron.
Yeah, he's the guy who cuts off the ring from Sauron's in
Yeah.
the big war. That we
So
see.
yeah, he
Motherfucker.
can't be dead.
Why are you telling me this shit?
Spoilers.
You don't watch the movies?
Spoilers for something released 10 to 12 years ago. You bitch.
15 years
Anyway.
ago.
I didn't know Isildur
15?
was the one.
I
They
think
even
so.
made
Yeah.
up. Yeah. The
Why do you
sword
think they
was
made a
called
big
the
deal
sword
out of this random
Isildur.
dude?
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Do you think I remember all these fucking? I'm just trying to get over doing.
We've blown his world that he's
Yeah.
still could be alive. Confirmed.
No, I knew he was alive. I didn't know he was the one that cut off Sauron's
Yeah.
finger.
See,
Yeah.
this is why I wanted to watch the movie again first before watching the
Did you?
the
No,
series.
it wouldn't
No,
matter.
I didn't.
It wouldn't matter for me because I'll be like, they'd be
Well,
like, Sword of Isildur. I'm like, that's weird. That motherfucker had the exact same name. Huh? It's not a
So-
coincidence. Like,
Yeah, that is true. How come in Middle Earth no one has like similar names? Everyone has a unique name.
Because they're all unique.
No, but like there's another Edward in the world. You know
There
what I mean?
is.
But it seems like in Middle Earth there's only one Isildur. They can't be like
Isildur.
two Isildurs.
Isildur. Isildur.
They say in America.
Oh, that's
Or-
it's not. That's everywhere in the world. It's not just.
Yeah, it's everywhere in
America.
the world.
So one thing that I've always called myself doing, I can't remember anyone's names in the Lord of the Rings except for I can't remember even her. Like I forgot that he was in the movie.
Galadriel?
Yeah, Galadriel. I forgot he was in the
Hmm.
movie.
Mhm.
You forgot she was in the movie?
I forgot the same name was in.
It's-
Oh, that okay.
the name.
Every episode is a new episode for Ed. It's like what the fuck?
Whoa.
Well, I'm in the Middle Earth. Whoa.
No, because their names are so like out there. It's like I don't fully, remember their
Sure.
names all the time. So it's like, okay, like if you say someone's so like, oh, I have
Yeah, but
no
only
idea
the
who that
first
is.
time, right? Only like the first time. You just like the first episode.
No.
But Galadriel
No, it was
was
the
a
first
big
episode.
deal in
You're
every
shocked
movie.
you
That's
see
what I'm saying.
Galadriel?
It was the
Yeah.
first
Like,
episode.
Oh, this is Galadriel.
No, it's the first episode because I was wondering, like, okay, are like I asked you guys before, are any of these characters in the movie?
And we said yes.
Yes.
We said Galadriel's in the movies.
Elrond.
and
And
I
also
didn't know
Elrond.
who Galadriel was
Yeah.
at the time.
Mhm.
I know who she is, but by name, like, okay, because
Yeah,
all
we
their
even
names are
explained
so.
that she
out there.
was in the forest and everything.
Yeah.
Remember?
There's a lot of people in the forest.
But you gotta remember, guys,
No,
guys,
she's the one that gave him the rations when they were about to go on the trip when they stared into that big pool of water.
Okay.
I just remember this, and you gotta remember, you guys
Okay,
are
whatever.
diehard Lord of the Rings. Like you guys are like
You
Tolkien, sympathizers and apologists.
token left toe suckers.
Yeah, so
Mm.
Ed doesn't remember.
Oh, okay. Why don't you educate us on Sonic lore since somehow that is high.
Oh,
class
gladly.
than Lord of the
Gladly.
Rings.
Gladly. Gladly. Gladly.
Okay,
So I'm not a I like Lord of the Rings, but I'm not a diehard, know everything about Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
I don't know
I
everything
did.
about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
guys
throwing it out there also. So I did like the series. It kept me very captivated.
Shit.
The twist, I did not expect the twist. Not
That's a
the
good
Oh, you
twist.
didn't?
Yeah, not the wizard twist, not that part. I was kind of thinking, okay, is he really Sauron or is he really someone else?
The
That
wizard
part-
I knew wasn't gonna be Sauron because
I
it was
didn't.
too
It was
obvious.
yeah, it was too obvious.
Yeah.
But the I forgot his name. The one that was
Totally
Halbrand.
obvious.
Halbrand.
So
Halbrand.
obvious.
Okay,
So
yes, it's
obvious.
Halbrand.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I already saw. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be. Yes, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be either the soldier
I didn't see it
or
coming.
No, I didn't see it come either. But
I
thought
suspected it, but I wasn't sure.
I thought it was gonna be the soldier or the elf that is best friends with the dwarf. Like somehow it's gonna be a big
It
twist.
can't be.
Elrond?
We
It
explained
can't-
this to
Elrond.
you.
What the fuck? Even I
He's
don't.
yeah,
Jesus.
Sauron is a shapeshifter, but he doesn't mimic people. He has like preset.
It was a thought.
No. The
bodies
fact that
that
he
he
thought it was
turns into.
Elrond, the fact that he thought it was Elrond, which is crazy, is just like that's what blew my mind. But granted, okay, like
It crossed my mind.
I have very baseline Lord of the Rings knowledge, and I was like, it can't be Elrond because Elrond's actually established in
Yes.
Fellowship and all this other stuff. So I'm
But
like,
Yeah.
doesn't Galadriel become Dark Galadriel in the movie also?
Gobbledygook. What was it?
Galadriel.
Gabagool.
Galadriel.
Gabagool.
Doesn't
Doesn't
Zelda
Gabagool become Zelda?
doesn't Zelda become Dark Zelda
Oh.
in the movies?
Yeah, she becomes Dark Sonic. Yes.
Yes.
It would have been great if they had
What?
Bill Cosby as Sauron.
Listen there, Rob. We'll want to go
I hear you got black
Go
elves.
gobbledygook.
I'm gonna be a black Sauron.
to Gilgalad. I'm on my way. Is he on the-
Galadriel,
Pudding pop.
do you want a pudding pop? Like, I can give you.
Here, drink this. Drink this.
That would have been really good. The crazy thing is that yeah, I didn't see Hellbrand. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, for Green Tuner and Dark Side, you guys, you know, are way more advanced in Lord of the Rings than I am. I had
You'd
no
be
idea.
surprised how far on the totem pole we are, or at
Well,
least I am when it comes to Lord of the Rings.
Yes, there's people
Yeah.
who are like, you know, like Celeborn,
Yeah,
like
Celebrimbor.
Oh,
Or
boy.
Celeborn.
Celeborn.
Hellboy.
Isn't that her
Yes.
husband? Her husband that they finally addressed that he was killed.
Yep.
yeah, he was missing. Yeah,
Yeah, so the fact is, like, you know, when I see these, like, when I watched the episodes, I did not have any idea what was going on outside of, you know, what was happening in the moment. So, like, the fact that Halbrand was Sauron, was just mind blowing to me. That for it, and I think that's more enjoyable. I don't know if they actually said in the book. I don't know how far this is off from the book and so forth.
people
It's very
That-
far off
that
from
were-
the book,
Okay, but
no, but
but
people
go
that
ahead.
read the book, because I also watched like people's reactions from actual super nerdy.
mhm.
I guess if you were familiar with the books, there were a ton of clues that
yeah,
he
so
was.
I
Sauron.
knew he was
But
Sauron
I
at
didn't
the end
pick
of
up
the
on any
second
of
to the
them.
last episode.
I
The
did.
second to the last episode, I knew he was Sauron.
I kind of had
But he
ideas
was-
then too.
He was the wrong
Because he was guiding?
character. No, he's okay. So he's guiding them to create the rings, and that process is done by Sauron when he's in a different form, an elf form. And I think he's called the Lord of Gifts or something like that. And he comes to them, and he's the inspiration. And over the course of several years working with them,
Mhm.
they refined the rings and the process of all this. So it was not Halbrand in the real lore,
Mhm.
and it's this other an elf version of Sauron that he comes to them in.
So what you're
so-
telling me is that
Yeah.
some random white guy comes in to like these elves that have been alive for hundreds,
Yeah.
if not thousands of years.
Thousands of
talking
years.
About, talking about, hey guys, hey, he goes to what? Celebrimbor, right?
Celebrimbor, yeah.
He's like, hey man, hey, I got an idea. I know I just got here,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you how
Turn
to
this
take-
into a thing or whatever.
You take this little nugget of a
And you guys ever thought about this?
You ever thought about this?
But by the way, Celebrimbor, who's been alive before there was a sun in the sky.
right?
Like, I mean, literally, dude is like an
didn't
angel.
think
Like,
of
I mean,
mixing
yeah,
it?
yeah. He's like, why don't you just mix them together? And he's like, whoa, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then when it failed, he goes and be like, maybe wait, maybe we're trying too hard. Maybe we just need to go a little softer. Just a
He's like,
suggestion.
yeah.
Just a suggestion. Not like I've done this
Just
before.
suggested.
And
I'm
like,
just a janitor. Just a
yeah,
janitor.
he's like, I'm just a lowly Smith that can somehow, spin swords with one finger, around my body, and this, that, and the other. And I get a mortal wound, and somehow I could ride all damn day for
That's true.
days.
And I can recuperate in no
Yeah.
time.
And I can dive all the way at the bottom of the sea and rescue an elf.
Yeah, but like, hey guys, just want to let you
A
know,
lot of things.
maybe you didn't try this, but wait, there's more. And it's just like, that's why I kind of figured out like, something's up with this dude. He's a little too like happy about this shit. And then he came up with the idea. Wait, guys, we could do armor or we could do a crown. But wait. What if we did a ring instead? That's crazy. I'm just like, okay, now they're kind of feeding this a little too much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when they were starting to like basically do stuff I didn't think they'd do. I was like, oh, okay, he must be Sauron then, because he's clearly setting all this stuff up.
Yeah, I only figured it when he was like saying all like the words that Sauron would say, where
yeah.
control over people, not of people or whatever. I was like, okay, then it's probably Sauron. But before that, I was completely like, I wasn't even really suspecting him specifically of being Sauron.
Well, that's good. That's good. That means that they succeeded in. Because here's the thing: that the show has to change things enough to surprise everyone a little bit, and it's a hard, it's a hard thing to do, and to also keep everyone satisfied. So the people who like me, who knew, how that scene would happen, and still like, at a certain point be like, okay, I know what's happening here now, but and then surprise people who have never heard of it. Tall order. And I'm sure, I don't know, like you said, you watch people's reactions. I don't know what people's reactions, like the hardcore fan base, was. This is definitely it's definitely a change. And it's here's the thing, here's what's happening here that I'm also noticing. Everything is accelerated. All of this process that we've seen should have taken place over years. Like, I mean, like, it's not like, hey, the elves are going to die in 2 weeks. It's not, that's not something that happened. But it was like, he was embedded with Celebrimbor, and they were making those rings for years. Like, there was a trust, and, there was a betrayal that comes into play later on, that we'll see. So it just feels like, Halbrand, he's a dude that just showed up, and now, but when that like big twist happens and everyone's going to feel betrayed, it's not really earned, so they have to go a different route with it. But it's one of those interesting changes they had to make. One of many.
It is true, though. It felt like it was weeks.
Yeah,
it did feel like it was weeks.
But they switched out. But I think that they switched out the betrayal between Halbrand and Celebrimbor. They just switched it out with Galadriel. And,
Galadriel.
And Halbrand instead. So
which is a pretty good betrayal for Galadriel. That is earned. That is earned.
And that was an earn, because the slow burn of 10 episodes of her talking about what she's lost and her like rage for hundreds of years. Well, it's not. It's not hundreds of years. It's been decades, right? Mm-hmm. It's been like 100 years since the big war. To see how her rage is taken over and this, that, and the other, until a point where she's, she finally trusts somebody. She's trusting a human of all people, and come to find out he's literally the person that is one of the people that is the cause of all her pain. That is just that is a, I think, very well deserved betrayal, and I liked it. And I like the fact that they made Sauron so powerful. Like, he didn't, like, he was able to overpower her easily. It wasn't like a, like, oh, now you found me, now I got to sneak out and run out and so forth. Like, he easily overpowered her, did the mentally, got into her mind and pretty much could have broken her.
I think he just shows, like you just said, he got into her mind, and that's it. That's his power over her, that he established mental dominance over her. Sure. and
Jinx.
he kind of he knew where to hit her with her brother and everything. So like, I mean, physically, could she take him? Yeah, obviously she could take him. You know, he's not physically in the form that is like his final form, if you want to go for that.
When she
He's
tried
in
to
a-
stab him, though, he caught it
Sure.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But he's in a very frail form, and that's the thing with him. Sauron is a deceiver. He's a serpent, just like, you know, the character he's based on, which is like the devil and stuff like that. So he's frail, but his most dangerous thing is his tongue and what he can do and the relationships he forms. So the shock of the betrayal and realization is what does her in. It's not his physical prowess, but it's just, that's what makes Sauron cool. It's that he can get in there anywhere at any time, and if there's a part that can be manipulated, a weakness, a flaw, something inside you or anyone else, that's how he gets into people's heads. That's how he takes over minds and influence and all that stuff. So I think they did a good job in that sense.
Mhm.
And I think they did a good job in season 2, wherever there's a Galadriel has a established connection with him now, a face-to-face connection and betrayal instead of this distant force. She's basically come face-to-face with him. He intimately knows her and she knows him. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
as
It's
close
not-
as you can.
Yeah, it's not like I hate him. He's just the bad guy. He was
Big bad.
he was her.
There's some stakes here.
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
close. They fought in battle together. He saved
Yeah.
her. She saved him. It's
Think about the mind games involved in all of that. Like
she rode back to save his life.
Did he really save
all
her?
that- he did save her. All of that stuff is real. He saved her because of the potential of where she could get him. He needed her and all these people to get him to positions where he can influence other people. So it's just like in the books, that is true. He connects himself to people who can get him to places. In this case, he needed to get to Celebrimbor. Not that was his plan, but he needs to get close to his enemy to understand how to defeat them or manipulate them or overrun them. So
If I recall, I don't think he has saved her. The water part, though, but I
yeah,
can't
he
recall.
saves her in the beginning
In the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, he did say.
and the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she was gonna get eaten up by the worm. The ocean.
She was
the sea.
drowning. No, she was drowning because she had a weight attached to her, like she was sinking.
Well,
Sorry.
she was sinking,
Yeah,
but
she was.
also, like I said, they found her in the ocean as well. But yeah, she was sinking as well. And in the battle, I thought he did actually save her as well in that battle.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think he stabbed somebody or something like that. And then they both took down that one dark elf.
Yeah, remember he
Oh,
offers
what happened to
her.
him?
Yeah.
What happened to that guy?
Which dark? I think he's alive still.
He's still alive.
He's
I forgot
alive.
what's his name. Not more. What's the name of the actual guy that they defeated? Oh, that's part of Valar.
The
Valar.
first one,
Yeah, that's
Morgoth?
Sauron. Morgoth, yeah.
Morgoth.
It's not Morgoth.
That's not Morgoth, but something close to that.
No.
But yeah, he's still alive, and I think we last showed him he was like chanting
He
his name.
disappeared. He disappeared in that when the Mount Doom erupted.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he reappeared
So-
when the title went from whatever the name of that land was
no, they're in
to
the city.
Mordor.
They're in the village. They're in the village.
Yeah.
and then he was talking shit, blah blah blah, and that's where you see Isildur. Like he's going by the place where Isildur was supposed to be buried at.
Isildur.
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 Roll those R's,
Isildur.
please.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm trying.
Mm.
But yeah, the funny thing is, I'm trying to learn German at the moment,
Mm.
and I sound like I try to speak it, because I'm using doing Duolingo. I'm like, fuck, I sound like such a fucking American. I'm like, du bist America, Canada, like it's just like, man, I'm so
Nine.
bad. Nine, like ich bin Eric, and I'm like, but I sound so like American. So this is like when I say these names, like for Lord of the Rings, I'm like, God, Galadriel. I'm like, yeah, Galadriel.
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 You know Galadriel?
Yeah, Galadriel. And
I'll tell you
Isildur.
Hazeldor.
Hazeldor, yeah.
Azelder.
But that was cool. I mean, I think like the whole series as a whole, the series as a whole was very slow burn. It was slow,
Mhm.
but at the end, it was phenomenal. The Halbrand reveal I thought was cool. Like the betrayal I thought was awesome. The fact that Galadriel had you saw a moment, like a moment of weakness with her brother, and the fact that it almost felt like when she was talking to Sauron, when she was talking to Halbrand, like when he was saying like, "Hey, you give me your strength" or something like that, and I give you power, and it was it almost seemed like she was tempted a little bit. Like I don't know if that's the correct way to say it,
Yeah.
but it just seems like for a moment she was just like she's actually
Well,
listening to him. She's actually
she
hearing
says
him
the
out.
same thing when Frodo offers her the ring and to
Yeah.
take it away from me.
Mhm.
So she's tempted in that moment, and she says the same thing that she told casually to Sauron. She says the same thing when she touches the ring and she's filled with the power.
Mhm.
So I thought that's one of the coolest things that when it happened, I was like, oh, that's the same line she uses.
I
So
didn't
it's
know
like
that.
she's aware of like the temptation of power, not in this case, not the ring, but Sauron himself,
Mhm.
the temptation of power. He's literally offering, whereas the ring does the same thing by touch.
Right.
Well, she mentioned
So-
something like about how everyone is tempted when she was walking with that kid when the volcano already erupted. Remember that scene? So when the ashes are on the ground, the whole sky's red.
Oh, when
And-
they were escaping. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's just
Oh,
walking
yeah.
with that kid.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. But it's just like I know there's the Dark Galadriel, and
Mhm.
but you just kind of like it was just kind of cool to see that I'm kind of thinking of it like when you think of shonens or so and so forth, like in mangas, like the good guy's just always the good guy. Like he's not really tempted by the persuasion of evil and so forth. But here you can kind of see like her swaying. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm all for the dark stuff, and the fact that you can see her kind of be slightly conflicted against a person who she thought was her ultimate enemy this entire time. She's talking about, I would do nothing but kill you, this, that, and the other. But instead, now she's actually like conversing with him. It's not like she's just like, no, I'm not listening to you. I will kill you right now. I will smite thee with great vengeance. She's just like listening to him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's.
If you started going into a Pulp Fiction.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm glad
you're
someone.
Mike, you
Great
Smite thee with great.
vengeance, with great
furious rage.
because you try to harm my brother. Like, yeah, great scene.
I see Galadriel with an afro and the beard.
Say what one more time? I double dare you.
Say, Halbrand, say it.
Say
English. Do you speak it, motherfucker?
like you caught me in a, what did he say? Remember when he has the guy at the diner? He's like, you caught me in a crossroads. Like I just wanted Galadriel to be like, yeah, I was about to kill you, but you caught me in a weird moment right now. So how do you guys feel about the prospect of a second season? I mean, I think it's almost guaranteed we will get a second season. I think they said
I'm all for it.
You're all for
Absolutely.
I'm down for a second season. I don't know if
it? Why do you say
the.
it like that, Ed?
What do you mean?
You made it seem like I'm down for it. Like, hey, I think I'm excited for it. I absolutely 100% want a second season. You make it sound like you could do with either or. It really doesn't bother you.
No, I'm fine for a second season. I just think for myself, I have to like pre-prep for watch the movie again before seeing
I don't
the
think
second
you
season.
do need to watch the movie. I think you could just watch the show, and there's not. I mean, as you draw closer to the movies, there are things like the Isildur thing. Trust me, you're not going to know unless you remember the first 30 seconds, 60 seconds of the film, the first film.
Yeah.
It's just Green Tuner and I are just huge nerds. That's why we remember that shit.
Okay,
But-
so like I said, I will need to watch the movies again to.
I would tell you to watch it because we are coming on. So he created the Three Rings we didn't talk about it, but the end credits song, as the credits fade. Did you guys listen to the song?
I listened to it, but I didn't even know about Isildur. So
Oh, okay. Well, that all the lyrics to that song are literally the Galadriel's
Lyrics.
opening kind of what she says at the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings movie, which is laying out what happened here. The three rings were created for the elves, and then it also that the lyrics lay out what Sauron is about to do leading up to the creation of the One Ring and why he creates it. But I thought that was really cool. I listened to it a few times. I thought it was nice.
Oh,
Wait,
that's,
um,
that's a nice little callback.
Let me ask you this: who were those three white witches, or whatever you want to call them, that were looking for Sauron?
Just disciples of Sauron.
Okay.
I don't know if there's someone important. I don't know that, but I do know that. Oh, and we didn't talk about the wizard. Who do you guys think the wizard is? Because he can only be two people, and he's either Gandalf
Obviously Gandalf.
or he's the Blue Wizard.
I think
Or
it's
he's the
Gandalf.
Blue Wizard.
So the obvious would be Gandalf, but after this twist, I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go with saying also that he's Gandalf because he is someone who also needs to establish a very close, intimate connection with Galadriel and Elrond. Like these people are very like. By the time you see him in Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, they're buddies that have been through it.
Yeah.
So if you have Gandalf, excuse me, Gandalf here now, kind of making his way, and at some point he crosses over with Galadriel. You see the beginnings of that relationship. I would be very happy to see that. Now everyone is expecting. I think all the book fans are expecting the Blue Wizard. The Blue Wizards, we never see them in the movies, but they've already been around. They've kind of like how Gandalf fell from the sky, kind of thing. They've already fallen, and they've been kind of fighting this war that Galadriel's fighting, but like in far off lands and trying to counter Sauron's influences. So I think we'll see the Blue Wizards later, but I agree with you. I think it's Gandalf too.
I think just
Hey.
that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's Gandalf, but at the same time, I think it's too obvious. So I think it'll be someone else.
I think it's very obvious only because of the whole Hobbit. Like he's around the Hobbits. He's built a relationship with them.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
for me, I'm just like, it's easy parallel. Now he could have been another wizard that just became cool with the Hobbits, and then Gandalf comes by later and be like, all right, we cool, so I'm gonna be cool with the Hobbits too. But I mean, they're not the Hobbits yet. You know, they're the Harfoots. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm thinking it was Gandalf. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought for a while when he was doing the whole magic thing, he was fighting against the disciples. Like, oh, this is Sauron, but he's good now. But then when he gains his memory, one of the main Harfoot chick, she dies or something, turns him evil. Like somebody accidentally kills him, or a human, or I was like, oh, then he just turns evil from that. You know? So, but I'm surprised that like that's for me. Like I said, for me as a person who doesn't know the lore and all the clues of who's who, that was big news for me. Like seeing that Halbrand was Sauron and of stuff. Because I remember you guys talking about like
it was a cool moment.
I thought because you remember we were talking about before. I think you guys said that you thought he was the Witch King, right?
I thought he was the Witch King. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, well, I'm going to trust
I
you
didn't
guys.
think they'd go. Honestly, I didn't think we would see them forging the rings this season. I think it was too early for all that.
No,
but
I mean,
it shows
Rings of
it way
Power.
accelerated in terms of. I mean, it sets the pace for. Like it recontextualizes my concept of what this series is going to look like now. That moment she completely redoes everything, and this series kind of puts it in a more of a, I don't want to say cheaper, but it's definitely a quicker, more efficient way of telling that story than the actual story. So I don't know if they were trying to go for something more truer to the book, long term, a little slower, or they decided at some point, hey, we got to speed things up, and maybe that's what the audience needs. Maybe that's what'll play better on television. But I could definitely see the next season being really action packed. If this is where they're going with this right now, shoot, we might even see him forge the One Ring by the end of the next season.
I can't see him be at more action packed. They're gonna be at the same pace, kind of like a slow burn.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's the other thing I noticed when the wizard was fighting those women in white. When he kind of, I think he used some kind of power where it kind of exposed them to the unseen world. They did look like ring wraiths.
Yeah,
You remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
they're
asking.
definitely just disciples of their wraiths. They're servants of Sauron in some capacity.
Their physical features do not match what they actually look like. I did think that was pretty cool because, yeah, it seemed like the one main chick with the white eyes, she
Yeah.
seems,
Eminem.
yeah, Eminem. The other two seemed normal. They looked normal. They were just like, just dressed in armor. But she seemed like
Yeah.
she was the one with the powers and so forth, like the
Yeah.
one mystic, and then everybody else, But when you
Yeah,
saw
but
them,
she also had some cool powers and
Oh, yeah.
cool like Slim Shady type effects.
yeah, no, she
That's
absolutely
really-
did, and she was actually really cool. Yeah, I thought the whole fight scene was pretty cool. I hate that the black guy had to die. Screw you. I mean, like shit,
Black
like
guy. Which
yeah,
black
the
guy?
black, the
In
black
the
Harfoot,
woods too.
the black
the
Harfoot
wood-
guy.
In the woods
Remember
too.
he-
Oh,
He was
well,
like-
they gotta die. That's what it is.
They.
What do you mean
those people.
they?
What do you mean they?
What do
Those
you mean
people.
those people? What do you mean those
Harfoots.
people?
Harfoots.
The Harfoots. Okay. This one-
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was kind of like I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Why are they chasing after this? Is kind of stupid." But then, like, honestly, it all made sense, and I thought it was good. I thought it was a good little addition. So, that whole scene and everything else. So, yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm not gonna lie. Like season 2, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, the pacing, it seemed like it went slow for like up until like episode like 4 or 5, and then it really kicked into it started catching up in speed. So I'm kind of curious of how it's going to be. I don't want it to be the same pacing. I hope they just keep a consistent pacing. I'll say this. I'd rather them give us 5 solid seasons. Let's say if it lasts that long, 5 solid seasons instead of trying to stretch it out or trying to do it too fast. Like, I don't want 2 seasons and they try to rush everything. I don't want 10 seasons where they try to make everything super long.
Shall we make some predictions on season length here? Because you think 5?
I think probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was thinking 3 or
3 or
4.
4,
I
yeah.
think this thing is way too expensive for them to produce.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like they have it. They have the prestige. Amazon has the prestige of the Rings of Power. They have the show. Obviously they have the sets and the actors, so they're gonna film more for that expense of it, just to justify the cost of building all this stuff. But 3, maybe 4. I'm right there with you. I think that's the capacity for what they can do. Otherwise, this thing's a beast. Or, God forbid, this show drops in quality because they don't want to pay the money to maintain. I don't want to see that. I would rather get 3 quality seasons than.
I don't think that will happen because
I don't think
every show, like a lot of shows that you see, we were talking about fantasy shows. I mean, the king right now is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has set the quality standard up there, not in terms of writing, but in visual effects. The last season, 1 or 2 seasons were really visually impressive. So I don't think, as far as that's concerned, I don't think we'll ever drop. I think I'm more concerned about what.
Well, I think that the show is so expensive to produce that I could see them kind of going backwards. Yeah, like we don't need to show that battle. Hey, oh my God, look at that Balrog.
Yeah.
And then cut away to like someone, man, that Balrog fight was something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
you see it from a distance, like a little some pixels. Like, man, that's crazy. Oh no! Oh my God!
Just have amazing reaction shots of people go, "Oh, what is this? This is amazing."
Yeah, I can see that. I hope we don't get that. That'll be horrible.
No, Jeff Bezos has enough money he was just like pennies to him, basically.
Yeah, like I said, this is a prestige piece for Amazon.
Yeah,
this is their, like, I guess what Game of Thrones is to HBO. This is their something to be proud of. So I don't. Absolutely. And it's quite a acquisition, so I don't think they will
Yeah, I'm sure
do
he's
that. But
he's
I'm just hoping.
making he's making plans in space right now, drinking champagne, saying, you know what, I want 4 seasons, all the same
Yeah.
quality.
Well, God knows he can afford it. So
Yeah, I mean, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's not even just the. It's not just. I mean, there's a lot of lore apparently they can go over. There's a lot of things they can stretch out. I'm hoping that with Lord of the Rings, that this is not just. I just don't want it to stretch out. Yes, could they make it 10 seasons if they needed to, or if they wanted to? Sure. I just want a clear, concise, well told, well paced story. I don't care about visual effects as much. Like, screw it. Like, I just want a good story. Now, where visual effects needs to come in, absolutely. Like, Balrog, obviously, like, when we saw the glimpse of Balrog this season, it was like, okay, that's kind of cool. We don't need, crazy. And I think the visual effects is just the icing on the cake, but the cake is the actual story. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't need no crazy visual effects for the show of the betrayal between Galadriel and Halbrand. Like, it was just something that needed to be fleshed out over X amount of episodes. So, if it's 3 or 4 seasons, I'm happy with that. We get the big battles that we want, and we get the I'll say fan service, like seeing Balrogs, this, that, and the other. Great, but I think 3 or 4 seasons will just be perfect enough. And not see, the thing is, I don't know how deep the lore can go. I'm just assuming just based on the pacing. I think 3 or 4 seasons, that's the perfect sweet spot.
It's one of those things where they can, if they wanted to milk this and spread it, pull it to whatever, how many seasons they wanted, they could.
Yeah.
But it would definitely lose that, like you were just talking about the pacing. This is a specific pace they've established here. So if they want to keep that going, I think 3 to 4, easy 3 to 4 seasons.
I would have to disagree visually. I think I love the visuals in this series. I think that it is important, considering that what this series is, it's Lord of the Rings. I can't think of any other series that actually needs or deserves this quality of visuals, but Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but what he was saying is the emphasis is on the story
It
for
is
the same reason.
But at the same time, I think that the visuals, in this case, because of what it is, it tells the story.
I mean, these are the best visuals we've ever seen on TV. Can we say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I mean, this is hands down. They've already done that. The box is checked. It's just it's their visuals are easy. Visuals are easy to do. You can farm it out to 1,000 people, and you can get amazing visuals. Nailing the story.
Tell that to DC and Marvel. Go on.
Sure. Nailing the story is very difficult, and you could have, like Game of Thrones, a great story, like the first 2 seasons, spectacular story, not a lot of visuals, but hey, does anyone remember that you didn't see the battle or these dragons for that amount of time? No, you just remember the spectacle of the story. The weight of the story was so good. By the time you needed the visuals, hey, we were already invested. Same kind of opposite way for.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I would probably, because it's Lord of the Rings, it kept me like captivated. Like the scope was like, it almost made me feel like I was there in a way, like just seeing the human lands or any of the landscapes. It was like, whoa, this is.
I think it's also good
amazing.
Good cinematography as well. I mean, this was shot probably in New Zealand.
New Zealand,
yeah. So I mean, New Zealand, we know just the sweeping landscapes are just
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's just amazing either way. So, yeah, what I'm saying about visual effects, I'm talking about, like, once again, like the ability to see, like, we know, like the Numenor, is obviously visual effects for a good portion of it, like the sweeping shots. But I was talking about more like having, like, that initial battle at the beginning of Lord of the Rings. Was there great spectacles to see? Absolutely. It was phenomenal to see. But, that was only like a 30-second clip of, 10 hours of story that we got. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, like, Lord of the Rings is not known, like, the Lord of the Rings is not known necessarily for its visual effects. It's mostly known for its actual practical design and so
Yeah.
forth. So that's the thing is like, while I mean, and I'm not saying that Lord of the Rings doesn't have great visual effects, but like, you know, I'm still thinking about the scene where Legolas is, you know, pretty much, you know, rappelling up a damn elephant and shit.
Elephant, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, things like that. But, you know, like for this episode, like for this 10 episodes, honestly, majority of it, there was no visual, there was not that, I mean, there's visual effects that we would never know that we saw because they're just so good. But the story is what really drove it. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'd rather have this level, even though this is way superb, like Darkseid said, way above what we've seen on regular TV by far. But this, I don't care about that as much as, I mean, it's a beautiful show, but the story is what really is going to draw people in. And Darkseid said it perfectly. Like Game of Thrones, the first 2 seasons, like no one cared. There was no like visual effects. Like the visual effects were kind of like in the first 2 seasons because no one really cared about that. People just loved the story. By the time the visual effects were needed, like he said, we were already invested, so we were gonna watch anyways. But HBO was gonna put that nice polish on it. Rings of Power they're just ahead of the curve. They just put the nice polish up in the beginning. But
Yeah.
the story is what drives Lord of the Rings for sure. I think that if the visual effects weren't up to par like it is right now, but the story was exactly the same or better, people will love the series even more. That's
So what you're saying is story's more important. Story's always important. It's better, isn't it? Than ensure everything else out there.
Anyways, so I know what you're trying
I'm
to
sure
do.
I'm sure if Green Tuner has fallen to the Dark Lord at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you're not hearing him. He's praying
Yeah.
to a porcelain god at the moment. So
Yeah, he's currently locked in combat with a different kind of Balrog.
yeah,
Yeah. Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire is definitely the Ring of Fire is definitely coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's.
So Tom. Okay, so let's because I want to get to the last our next topic.
Well, we gotta give our blurs, or we're gonna
That's what
hold
I'm
off
saying.
for.
We'll hold off. We'll hold off until
Hold off for
if he returns.
if he returns.
if he returns.
So let's transition to the second finale that we want to talk about. Oh, here he goes. Oh, shit. It's
You shall not pass.
It's Green Tuner the White. Green Tuner the White.
I don't know what I ate.
The brown.
But my
The brown,
stomach
yes.
is killing me.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm glad you triumphed. I'm glad you triumphed.
Why are you sweating? Jeez, you're so like you're glistening right now.
Well, he's
It's a
in
hard
combat.
fought battle.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
in
Have you
battle.
been working out?
Hold on,
Kind of
hold
like
on.
You
No,
know,
I
he's trying
had
to push
to.
out, trying to
Yeah, I was.
excavate out the
Yeah,
the minds of
Yeah, exactly. I was pushing on a Balrog,
yeah, no,
a hot fiery Balrog.
what's the mountain that Doran is in control? Like you're
Moria.
Mordor?
Yeah, the mines of Moria.
Mines of Moria?
yeah, he's trying to excavate something out of the mines of Moria.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
much mithril.
He dug too deep in something. He awoke something in the depths.
You created Mordor?
Jeez. Yeah, he did
I
explode.
awoke something that had been sleeping for a long time.
For a long time. Well, I'm glad you triumphed there.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Real quick, before we transition, we're gonna wait for our blurries. I don't know if you were still listening.
Yeah, of course I was listening.
So yeah, give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts
yeah.
on Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Hey, I agree with you guys. Great show. Can't wait. I'm still shocked that all the true, or not the true, but like the majority of Lord of the Ring fans don't like the show. Like they turned hard on the show.
Is it the majority of Lord of the Rings fan, or is it just like random people?
I don't think it's majority.
No, like I've been on like the subreddits, on the YouTube videos. Yeah, a lot of people do not like, because they say that it's fucking up too much with the characters, the established characters. So I think that's their main complaint.
Though. I think it's the loud. I think there's a lot of loud people. I don't think people hate it. I think they just say it's average. I don't think they hate it. Like there's some people that absolutely shit on this. They're like, it's a 1 out of 5. But then I see a lot of people that just like, okay, it's a 2 or a 3 out of 5. because of the reasons that you say. So,
Yeah.
but hey, if you're deeper in the trenches than I am, then sure. If you think it's majority,
Yeah, no, I'm all for it though. I want to see another season. I kind of agree with Darkseid. At I don't know how much return they're making on it, but I don't know if they're gonna be willing to put that much money long term.
Yeah.
It might be just like a 2-3 season thing.
wait. Oh, you think 2-3 seasons total?
Yeah,
So you think that there's
It's a
possibility-
lot of money
I
to
think
put
that's a
into them.
possibility. The pace is there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't think they would forge 3 rings by now, but they did. So I could easily see them get to 3 seasons.
How many more rings are there? So there was 3 given to the elves. Was it like
and
8?
they want to rule them all, right?
There's
8?
like 9 to men, and there's like
Oh yeah,
some number to the dwarves. I don't remember.
And then
And
there's
then
the
there's
one.
one. Yeah.
But that the
To rule
one
them
is
all.
to rule them all. That's the one that's going to be the big battle. So it has to happen in the timeline. What I'm assuming the next year or two, right? Few
Well,
years.
he's going to Mount Doom. They showed him literally walking to Mount Doom. So he's
Right.
going to forge it. He's going to forge rings in there with what he's learned. And then he's going to probably try to get the dwarves on, maybe manipulate the dwarves by giving them rings and then manipulate humans. And he will gain the humans because they're easy to manipulate on his side. And I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, but I could see 3 seasons.
Now the question I have really quick is Prince Doran. Is this is the kingdom? This is the kingdom that when Gimli goes in, right? They're like, you see Gandalf talking about this is the lost kingdom, or this is like the old dwarven city.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so this is that same city that
Yeah,
they go
This is
into.
the city that we see destroyed in
Yeah, that
Fellowship
is
of
the
Ring.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this is the one where now is this gonna be the same city where they fight the Balrog, where
Balrog,
Gandalf
yeah.
fights the Balrog, right?
Yep.
It's the same.
yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
okay. That's
Yeah,
how I figured.
same one.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. So hopefully we do see like why this dwarven. But the thing is, that this is thousands of years, right? This is like 1,000 years before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He forged the ring in 2 weeks. This takes like 100 years.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, when is this dwarven city gonna to be pretty much destroyed and abandoned?
Well,
And
no.
then-
What happens is, I don't know how they'll show it, but the dwarves become greedy and they seal themselves inside,
Okay.
and they start, just their greed causes the, Balrog and all kinds of things to come out from the earth and kills them. And it's just like they did it to themselves. Their greed kind of does it to themselves.
Okay. So
So I don't know what we'll see though.
okay, yeah. I guess I'm kind of curious because I'm like, if this was if like the fellowship and all that is supposed to be 1,000 years in the future, like when is
Maybe.
this? When is this supposed to happen? Like, because I mean, I like Doran. Doran is probably one of the most. I'm not gonna lie. When Doran lost his prince, like his princeship,
Yeah.
like I was like, I got a little emotional because I'm like, he's really like fighting for Elrond and trying to fight to save the elves. I was like, this is really
Yeah.
good. So I kind of want to see how this place falls apart.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
would
I
be
don't know.
cool. Yeah.
But
I think we'll see something because it's an important part of the story and everyone's curious about it. And they've established characters in that environment that we like. So I definitely think we'll see that happen.
okay, cool. All right. So Green Lantern, you think it's only gonna be another season or two?
Maybe. Yeah, the cost is too high. I don't know what the return is on the show.
Yeah. So I mean, I think
Because
we're
those
all in
primes,
agreement.
baby, those primes have to go up.
Yeah, the primes.
Yeah.
Well, this shit, they already are going up. Was $120?
Yeah, they are. I heard. Yeah,
Yeah. So
they're doing pretty well.
I'm not gonna lie. If they could go up to 150, we will still pay for it. But
I will absolutely continue paying for Amazon Prime.
Right.
It's the one thing. It's the one thing that I won't bitch and moan too much about
yeah,
because they add value to it, though.
they do. They have a lot of value.
They add more stuff to it. Amazon keeps adding value to it. They just added Prime Music, the entire Prime Music catalog. And like I was like, oh, cool. I didn't know that. And literally I'm figuring out things every other day that I have access to that I didn't know.
They do.
So-
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so before we talk about you jump on the She-Hulk. What blurries do we give season 1 of the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power?
All right, Ed first.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay.
honorary man, you actually watched it. We're proud of you.
Yep.
Yeah, like I've watched everything other movie wise stuff. Yes.
Well, this is not a
Yeah.
movie, so go ahead.
But I would give this a a 9.5 out of 10.
Shit, I did not
Pretty
expect
good.
you. to be that
This
high.
is coming from I'm not a deep Lord of the Rings fan. I don't know every Nick and Cranny, but I did like this. 9.5 out of 10.
Cool. All right,
That's pretty good.
all right, Green Tuner. What about you?
9.
Okay,
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Solid.
Mm.
I'll go next because Darkseid, since you are the leading authority, I feel like it's only best that you go last. Yeah, I'll give it 9 out of 10. This is coming from a non-Tolkien super fan. So just watching this without knowing all the lore, not knowing about Isildur, that was horribly spoiled for me.
Mhm.
I loved it. It was great. So yeah, 9 out of 10 easily.
All right. Well, I'm known as Toll Control 238 online, and I've
Mhm.
taken this series to task. So it's a 3 out of 10 because I hate it.
Yeah,
Good.
It's,
yeah.
I'm dancing in between. It's not a 10. It's either a 9 or an 8.5. And the reason why I have that feeling is because visually spectacular. But it's the pace is something feels
It's too
artificial
fast
about
at
it's
ti-
too
at
fast
times.
for the
Like I
scope
said,
of what I'm seeing. I'm like
Making the
whoa,
ring
whoa,
seem like
whoa.
it took a weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That did it. If this ending episode had a big impact in my feelings about 8.5 to 9, between 9 and 9.5, it's just it kind of changes the acceleration of the entire series. So it makes me question how they're going to approach certain things. So that's why I have this little. I'm going to err on the side of positivity and go 9, but that's where I'm at.
Well, didn't the I was gonna say the Fairy King, the Elf King, did he give him like a 2-month? He said you got 2 months, and if you don't, if you don't finish in 2 months, you guys are pretty much packing your shit and we're leaving.
Yeah.
So I mean, while not entirely a weekend, 2 months is a pretty fast turnaround, and you said it was supposed to last 100 years. So
Years. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
supposed to last longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
It would have been like, all right, you guys get your shit together. I'll be back in a decade and we'll talk about it.
Right,
It's
right.
Yeah.
well, I think what they need to do then, if they need to, I think they need to be like House of Dragon, which is another series we'll talk about in the near future. They need to handle time jumps, like kind of like House of Dragon
See,
has done.
I think it's too late though.
Yeah, they've already established like
They've established their pace.
Yeah,
Well,
well, they
House
can
of
also,
the Dragon kind of made a decision early on to do something different.
right. So and people were talking shit about House of Dragon and the pacing, with the time jumps, because people were confused, like what the hell just happened? Why are things so different? But at the end of it, people have absolutely loved it now. So yeah, I agree. Like House of Dragon took a risk and it's paid off. I think probably because of conventional storytelling, Rings of Power probably said, nah, let's chill. Like, let's not do that. So we'll see if it's gonna hurt them in the long run. So I guess we're all looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm impressed that we all gave it 9 or higher. So that's pretty freaking awesome. So hopefully Jeff Bezos cuts our check for giving us the rave review, and
Payola.
yeah, it's going to pay us out.
I'm surprised Ed Underground gave it a 9.5 to something
Why
that
is
has
that?
it has a black elf and a black dwarf.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why aren't they Asian? I wonder why. Trying to
Wasn't
get
there
that
one
Black
Asian
Panther
kid?
money.
Black Panther money. Yeah.
Trying to get
Wasn't
that
there
Black
one-
Panther money.
Wakanda
Wasn't
forever.
there one Asian kid there?
Who?
Wasn't there like a kid that was Asian?
Yeah.
There was an Asian villager, yes.
Yeah, there was one.
Oh, one thing that did cross my mind though, like how come? Okay, so the queen was black,
Yeah.
but the not elf, the king who was on his sickbed
Yeah.
was white.
That is a mystery. For
Well,
me.
what
That's a
about
mystery.
the one chick and her Samoan kid, the one that finds the sword, or whatever he
Do
is?
you realize that
Oh, yeah.
that her mother could have been black,
Could have
or
been.
No.
her father could be
Don't listen to him,
biracial?
Ed.
The father could be biracial, just
Nope.
looks
The
white.
Hobbits.
Nope.
No,
Nope. Ed, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah,
make
the
sense.
hobbits. Hold on, the
Don't do that,
hobbits too.
Darkseid.
The hobbits too. No, the hobbits too.
Oh, the hobbits.
Mhm.
Wasn't
they're not
the
hobbits, so
or whatever?
Harfoots.
Okay.
Wow.
Don't let him trip you up.
So wasn't the guy black, but the wife was white?
Yeah. How
Oh,
come the wife is white?
Ed, we've already talked about this. We've literally discussed this already.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah, they made
Okay.
like non.
They didn't get a
I
paternity
don't think
test.
they cared. Yeah, they
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
just
Well,
casted
that's
whoever.
No, just I thought that's all.
Ed, we've already talked about it. That's not her biological parents. That she was adopted.
Hey, I'm just pointing things out. It's like an episode of
Ed
Murray.
Ed just blacks out. He sees
I'm just
a white girl in a mixed race family, and they're like, "Holy shit, this show's so inaccurate. I'm just gonna boycott it."
I'm just pulling an episode of Murray. That's all.
He's like,
Well,
forget
we
about
know the show
man.
dropped a half-point percentage for that.
Yeah, it would have been a 10 out of 10 in Ed's mind if it wasn't for the black people. So
No,
all right.
no, only a 9.5, only because of the pacing.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right.
All right, so moving on to our next topic. She-Hulk. So She-Hulk finale dropped, I think about 2-3 weeks ago. Hopefully we all saw that final episode.
Yes.
Did everybody see it at Underground? Did you see it?
I want to get a vote of who thinks I saw it.
I don't think you saw it.
I know you watched it because you reacted to the
Yeah,
to
you
the
did
big
watch
thing
it.
at the end on the
Yeah.
chat.
Dark Side.
You did.
Right.
Did I see She-Hulk or not?
No, you did.
Yeah,
I did?
Yeah, you did. So
I saw
know
it.
you did.
Yeah,
All right.
I saw it.
all right, so let's talk about that real quick. Luckily we only had to talk about the one episode. I think we've already talked about all the episodes that led up to it.
Yeah.
Typical She-Hulk fashion. I mean, we talked about the fact that She-Hulk is a fourth wall breaker. She breaks the fourth wall in the comics, and she's done it already in the show. In this show, she did, I would say, half of the show, she was breaking the fourth wall. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool. And then at the same time, I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to see the big, like, I'm not gonna lie, the formula for Marvel for leaving like the big battle that just doesn't make sense because people are just coming in. I was kind of all for that because I'm a huge Hulk fan, and I'm like, yo, I just want to see somebody Hulk out. I want to see like Edward Norton come in and be like, yeah,
Yes.
you don't want to see me when I'm angry, and then just Hulk out and so forth, and have a big battle with Abomination. And I was looking forward to that, and then it kind of just dashed my dreams. But I mean, I thought the finale was not bad. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I think it was a fresh take on fourth wall breaking. But what do you guys think?
I'm
liked
a
it.
little removed from it. It's been a while since I watched it. But yeah, I would say I also liked it. And I liked the twist of the finale, multiple twists of the finale. It wasn't like I thought it was comedic in the right ways. I thought the Kevin concept. I really thought we'd see Kevin Feige.
I really thought
but
so too.
I like the what they showed as
Yeah.
the KEVN, whatever he's called.
Yeah.
Kevin.
And I like that they point out the Marvel formula to her. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay. And in line with the rest of the season. So I don't hate the series. I think it's very good. And I am excited to see another season of it. Another one of those series that we are fans of here at the Blur Podcast, but everyone else seems to dislike for various reasons. But yeah, I liked it.
All right.
Green Tuner,
Okay,
what'd you think?
George, yeah.
Yeah, I liked
Sure.
it too. I thought it was nice for them to still embrace the weirdness of having her step out and actually meet her own writers. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool how they called out everything that they've been doing so far. But aside from that, I mean, what the hell are you doing, man?
Go on.
Are you trying to be Wolverine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just rolled tissues.
Very good, Ed.
Yeah. Well, that's
Go
at
on.
least a better costume that you had than the Christmas.
Oh
the
my
other
god,
one,
yeah.
or last one you had for Halloween. Where
Yeah,
you pretty much
sadly, that is better.
you
Anyways.
just put some pants over your shoulders. It's like I'm Anakin, but yeah.
Oh no, but go on.
Go ahead, Green Tuner. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So yeah, I share the same thing. To be honest, I mean, I don't know how much more we can say. We've pretty much discussed every episode up to this point.
Yeah,
I'm liking it so far. I don't have much more to say than what we've already said.
Okay, well, I guess. Well, Ed, give your viewpoint on it. I do have something to say and want to get you guys' feedback on it.
So I thought it was fine. It's not what I expected, although what I didn't expect was fine too. It's just still it seemed mediocre to me. And I actually liked it less after seeing Black Adam. Just now I'll say why. After seeing Black Adam, it reminded me how movies were fun. Nothing about politics or any other stuff.
This isn't a movie; it's a show.
Whatever, show, movie. It's Marvel.
entertainment.
Entertainment. So after seeing Black Adam, it just reminded me of how movies used to be. It just used to be fun. That Black Adam made story-wise, it had its problems. But entertainment-wise, it was fun. Very fun. They took out any political stuff, whatever, it just had straight fun. And I loved it. I want to see it again.
Mhm.
She-Hulk, it was funny, but it wasn't fun, if that makes any sense. Like, if I had a choice between seeing She-Hulk again, any episode, or the movie Black Adam, I would see Black Adam.
Yeah, but there's a different tone here.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yes,
different
it's a
type of-
different tone. It's a different
Yeah.
tone, but I just noticed how it just wasn't fun.
I will disagree here, and I will say that Black Adam represents the been there, done that to me, and She-Hulk represents kind of like, okay, literally in the last episode, you can reference Black Adam, all the Justice Society and Black Adam, and what's the Sabak, they're all fighting each other. She literally references the same formula, how every superhero movie kind of does the same thing, and I like that. I like the refreshing step back. And that's not just the last episode. That's the entire series and character. It's that kind of step back from the Marvel formula and just kind of
make it a lawyer
looking
show.
at it from a different perspective. I think that the finale and the series does that job very well. It's probably, other than Deadpool, it's the only other thing that has that perspective. And whereas Black Adam, I also really enjoyed Black Adam more for it is what it is, and it does that very well, but it is what we've seen thousands of times before.
It's
nothing. Yeah, it's formulaic.
Yeah.
It was just a fun formulaic because it's different. But it's still, at the end of the day, like the Black Adam's storyboard on the wall, swap it out with Hulk, swap it out with Avengers. It's the same thing. So, I mean, I think it's different enough and refreshing enough where it was special, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I had to disagree with Ed too on this. For the exact same points the Dark Side said. I think I mean, I didn't get really a lot of the politics, and I don't know what you mean by politics. I think it was just talking about like issues, like main issues. She was talking about like, hey, I'm a woman, and I feel I have disparaging things said to me, catcalled, and this, that, and the other. So I don't think it's politics. I think it's just societal issues that were brought up that, it's just
exist.
They exist, and I think that
some people don't like to acknowledge them.
Sure.
And when you shine the light on it and be like, hey, these things exist, and you tell a story, just like in the comics, people like to, be like, oh, okay, why are you bringing politics, or why are you bringing this in? Why are we talking about this? We don't need to talk about this. Well, I mean, sometimes you do need to talk about it. I mean, if you look at, and we've talked about early Marvel.
The
I mean, the
origin of
X-Men is a
yeah.
X-Men is a metaphor. Like Stanley was talking about race relations before, and I'm sure everyone would write into Marvel if he literally went out and said, if all the X-Men were black, they would probably write in and say, we don't want politics in comic books. He had to do it in a more subtle way, but he's still driving that politics need to be in entertainment to drive entertainment, make it relevant, make it something to grow from. You know what I mean? It's not just a repeat of everything we've seen, because it is an allegory. These are stories that we're supposed to look at, and like we're supposed to look at the morality, and there's lessons to be learned, like the stories that I don't know, in Greek times. These are just reinterpretations of these stories of heroes. So you're supposed to draw something from it, or learn something, or add something from your own reflection of your own world back into it. So I think politics are needed, though heavy-handed or not is the question. And I don't think She-Hulk was heavy-handed. I think it was effective to, hey, this is a female perspective. She is a hot, tall, green woman who will get, that's going to happen. Turn on Twitter and go to Instagram and look at the comments section. Yeah. People behave that way. I mean, we behave that way. It's not they're making people, demonizing men or demonizing a certain group of people. People behave that way. Whether it's your race, whether it's your sexual orientation, whether it's your gender. I mean, it's just, sometimes you got to shine a light on it, and that's how people change and learn. I agree that there's levels to how that lesson can be imparted.
Well, I agree with what half you were saying, and yes, I do believe and seen and know that women do get catcalled and deal with issues and stuff like that. That being said, I think there is a way to separate politics from entertainment, considering movies, especially with a source that is not really known for having a political stance.
But can we talk about the fact that, I mean, if politics become part of a TV show, who cares? That's real life. That's, we're getting away from this, art shouldn't imitate life or anything. I mean, at this point, art is imitating life. So the fact that there's politics in a show, so what? Who cares? This is part of what it is. We
have a very political, environment. We exist in a very politically driven environment. That is the reality of the world we live in. Why are we hiding from it? You know what I mean?
Not hiding from it. Well,
I was escaping from it.
Well, some people play games or watch movies or whatever to escape from the everyday life of, politics and, things happening in the world, because that's what entertainment is. It's supposed to be. Yeah. But the whole political thing is...
But it's dull. It's dull without any kind of bite to what you're looking at. Otherwise, you're looking at a repeat of everything you've seen before. In order to make it relevant, so you relate to it, or in order to make it interesting, you gotta
have a great story without having any political views, whether it be left or right, up or down or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Good bite to it.
Did you enjoy Captain America, the Captain America series? Winter Soldier, First Avenger, any of them? Did you enjoy any of them?
Yeah, it was fine. What I'm saying though is
those were heavily politicized. They had
that was based off of.
Do you like Star Wars? Do you like Star Wars, like the original Star Wars?
The original Star Wars, yeah.
The original Star Wars movies. They're very political. There's politics in there. There's definite lines of political opinions inside Star Wars, if you know.
But you know what I'm saying.
Behind it.
You know what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I know what you're. I don't think you know what you're saying. Is what I'm saying.
I know what I'm saying. So let's say, Spider-Man, and
I think it's in everything. All the things you like, politics are in there, and they're in there because they need to be in there, because that's what makes the stories good. Now they're either hidden well enough or they're not.
It doesn't really make a story good.
Yes, that's what makes the story good.
Like Star Wars.
Politics?
Star Wars is literally politics. There's nothing but politics in there.
Well,
Yeah.
Gundam Wing is technically politics too.
Exactly.
Sure.
But
yes,
they're not
Yes.
pushing something
yes, they are.
towards you.
Something
Yes,
is,
they are.
Something is definitely getting pushed into something.
They're getting pushed. Things are being pushed into things
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, exactly. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
I think.
And there's
you're-
definitely an agenda there, my friend.
Yeah, I think you are.
Boys
just
gonna be
willfully-
boys.
I think you're just willfully ignoring a lot of things just because. I don't know. I mean, you had scarred childhood. You are repressing mental traumas. I don't know.
Listen, he doesn't play Call of Duty, okay?
True.
Yeah,
True. He doesn't.
He
He
does not.
doesn't play Call of Duty.
Yeah. But I, mean,
I can't wait for Ed to get on Twitch and start like riling that up. Oh yeah, am I the only one who doesn't play Call of Duty like those people?
I'm just not a Call of Duty fan. That's all.
That's not what
Yeah,
you said.
you got an opinion, buddy.
Yeah, your opinion was a little strong.
Yeah, for sure.
But
It was a joking opinion.
it
McGaw.
was not a joke. You didn't smile. You said you looked right in the camera and you said those words. But anyways, I like I said, I agree. I have to, like I said, I have to agree with Darkseid on this. I don't think I don't think there was no politics brought into this. I think it was just issues, particularly gender issues on this show. That was brought up. I think that's a totally different thing from politics. There wasn't saying like, "Hey, you stupid Democrats and you stupid Republicans." And if they do, they make jokes about it. Both sides make jokes about it. So, the people who usually gets upset about this is usually the opposite party of who's getting joked on, or the party that's getting joked on. That's the party that people get upset about. But other than that, moving outside of that realm, like I said, this is an interesting take. This is not a show that needed to be an action show, 100% balls to the wall, final big battle scene where people just showing up out of nowhere like a typical Marvel or typical superhero in general formula. Like she said at the end of it, this is a lawyer show, and she's like, "I'm gonna do what I do best, take him to court." She's like, "I'm a better lawyer than I am a superhero." I was like, "Yo, I ain't mad at you. Like, if that's what you can do, and that's what you do best, fuck it." Like, that's exactly what it is She-Hulk, attorney at law. She's an attorney, so she is just 7 foot whatever, green and sexy. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of took it as that. So overall, I think like I said, this wasn't the greatest finale. Like I said, I'm a sucker, and I think that's the thing. The difference is that, can you admit that that's what you like? Do you like having the formulaic Marvel ending? And I do enjoy that. So with her kicking ass as the She-Hulk, I would have loved it, but I mean, we got what we got. So I don't know. I think this was not bad. So I don't know. Do you guys want to give it some blurries and keep it pushing?
Yeah.
Give it blurries.
All right, let's give it some blurries. All right.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
The finale or the whole season?
Oh, the whole season.
Okay, cool. All right, 7 out of 10. Green Tuner, you around?
I think he's on the
She's still combating
he's on
Balrog.
the other ring
Round
of
two.
power.
Round two, my friend.
He went from
The other ring of power.
Yeah.
okay, so he did text us. He texted us from the White Tower.
Wow.
He says the whole season he gives it 9 blurries.
9 blurries. Wow.
That's a high praise for sure.
High praise.
Darkseid, you want to go next?
I will give it 8.5. 8.5 blurries for me.
Okay, solid. I would give it 8. I'll say I would give it a solid 8. Great show. I think it was a good addition to the Marvel lineup. I'm constantly gonna bring up this point. I think we are in a point. We're in the golden age of TV, and right now we're spoiled. I think if this would have came out 10 years ago, I think this would have been the highest thing out on TV.
10 years ago, everyone would have been watching this.
Everybody would have been watching this because this has been like, what, a She-Hulk series? This is amazing. But we're so diluted with so many shows to watch and so many Marvel series that I think we don't give She-Hulk the props that it was. I mean, I would have never thought in a million years, once again, that we would have ever gotten a She-Hulk show ever. So the fact that we got one and they did things that you have probably never seen on a
Yeah.
TV show.
They're twerking with Megan Thee Stallion.
They're twerking with Megan Thee Stallion, which I still to this day do not understand why people are so upset about that. And every day I see memes like, this is what Marvel used to be, but look what Marvel now. I'm like, are you guys
dude?
like just miserable?
I don't think anyone's seen that episode where it happens because it's literally 2 seconds in a stinger.
Yeah, it's a stinger. But the thing is, it's like do these people, are these people happy in life? Like, do they just be angry about everything? Like
some are.
Like,
I think there's legitimately, there is, and I'm on YouTube, right? I'm heavy on YouTube, not so much on anything else. On YouTube, there is hate is the economy. Hate it. Whatever it is,
I
hate it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, everything. Bring it on. There are entire channels that were created from Star Wars, from the first Star Wars movie that came out. And now that they are designed to hate everything, look at the pessimism in everything. There's nothing possibly that can be good. Yeah. Everything comes from a dark place. Everything is politicized, or everything is orchestrated by elites, Hollywood elites. We're talking about like superheroes, right?
Right.
Everything is so far down the political landscape where they look and point at, oh, why is there politics in this? But why are you looking for the politics in this? So hard. I mean, they go so far.
You make it.
Yes.
Some are.
No, I think
a lot of them are. I mean, it's why we have these review bombs in this world we live in, where like you can't take, a
twerking scene.
Show.
You take a twerking scene and you say the whole series is trash.
The whole series is trash. Or Black Adam, like the reviews for Black Adam, where the excuse me, like the critics don't like Black Adam for reasons because it's pretty generic, but fans like it. There's tons of movies like that throughout time. For years, there have been critics didn't like movies, but everyone makes it seem like it's a recent conspiracy. That's just been the way it is.
Speaking about Black Adam with the critics versus the audience, the critics hated Black Adam. The audience loved it. The critics hated Superman, Man of Steel. The audience loved it.
Yes.
The critics loved
Captain Marvel was in that meme.
Yes, Captain Marvel.
No, Captain Marvel's actually not good, but
no, it's a terrible movie.
Well, but the critics loved it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to disagree with critics. Like I just said, there are movies that are not good, that are not well received, but I like.
And the critics
and people like, and there are flip-flop. There are movies that are well received that I don't like or understand or care for why they're well liked. It's people's tastes. These are critics. The critics who gave Black Adam a poor score are critics who watched Black Adam and then they also watched the latest art house movie out of Cannes. Their perspective is totally different than the fans. The fans are watching Marvel movies and DC movies and Disney Plus, and that's their spectrum. Critics are operating at a film and art level. And yes, Black Adam's not that great, doesn't break any boundaries. It's entertainment. It's a popcorn movie.
Exactly. Entertainment.
Exactly. So
entertainment.
We look way too far into these stupid scores and say, is it entertaining or is it not? And there could be movies that are entertaining, but they suck. We've watched several of them this year.
But they're entertaining.
But they're not.
Yeah, there's movies that are entertaining.
They go back and forth in all directions.
So just entertainment does not mean it's good. Entertainment doesn't mean it's that bad. Movie or a show with politics can be good and it can be bad. Same thing for issues, whether it's gender, religious, whatever, can be good or can be bad. It's not like trying to get now I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to say, oh, well, it's entertainment. That's why people loved it. No, I mean, you can have movies that are entertainment and just be horrible. Trying to get a correlation that, entertainment and no politics makes it a great movie. No, just base every movie based on its own merit and say, hey, this is a good movie and this is a bad movie. Black Adam was good because it was a turn your brain off, don't have to think whatsoever, regular action movie. It was good for that. After that, it wasn't good.
Black Adam, real quick, Black Adam was also good because it came at an end of string of DC movies that sucked.
Right.
I mean, a couple of the last two were good, but the big ones all kind of fell short of what we wanted. And this is the first one so there's also a refreshing aspect to Black Adam, but when you look at Black Adam and you compare it to another Marvel movie, it's really kind of the same. It's just
I still,
refreshing. We said that last
whether
week.
whether or not DC movies have been good or bad, I still would have seen this and like, oh wow, this is actually entertaining. I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And then, I mean, talking about Black Adam, I liked it, as I talked about last week. Inserting politics into Black Adam, I wouldn't have minded. I think that there is that element of they use, and I didn't talk about it last week, and I should have talked about it. They use Intergang as the villains in the Black Adam movie. Intergang is the bad guys. Now, Intergang doesn't make any sense that they're. I don't know why they used it. Maybe there's no other DC properties. I don't know enough about that. But there is a political statement to be made about like hired mercenaries manipulate. I mean, what's going on in Afghanistan and Iraq and all. There is a political statement being made here. It's just watered down, but it's there because that's what's interesting. You can't just have Black Adam without any kind of real world context. Our world is politically complicated. So you have to have that context in there to make it interesting. And I like that part. Like, when I talked about Black Adam didn't sit on the throne, I wanted him to take power. That's a political aspect of that character that's in the comics that I like. He has a very specific right-wing opinion that I think would be
dictatorship.
Interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, but they kind of softened that up. So I feel they went light on the politics, and the politics would have made that character way more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, now you have like a Burger King toy Black Adam instead of a like Dark Knight level Black Adam. I wanted like even Dark Knight. Dark Knight isn't just a Batman movie. It talks about privacy and it talks about anarchy and there's deeper elements of the Dark Knight. These are all political elements. This is what makes things interesting.
Yeah, that is a good point. Like
you know what I'm talking about by political stuff, though.
No, I don't. You're not specific enough, and you're kind of all over the place. You keep bringing it up like all the time. You'll wave that flag of, oh, story first, no politics. Well, politics makes stories good.
It can, but in the aspects of the movies you just mentioned, it's not the politics I'm talking about.
Then what politics? Define politics stuff.
Basically, just throwing stuff in your face, basically trying to shove things down your throat. Type politics, like okay.
I think the Dark Knight shoved a lot of stuff in your face.
Literally, there's a scene where the Joker shoved a pencil in someone's face. So
yeah, literally.
How is that political?
No, you're saying just like what stuff specifically are you talking about? What political stuff are you talking about?
That is basically this way. You accept this or not. You're out of here type thing. Like it has to be this way and this way only. The world should be like this.
No one's forcing you to do that. That's.
Well, no one's forcing you, but it's shown to you. Like it's got to be this way. It's got to be that way. Like there's certain. How about this? There's a dating app I was on years ago. I think it was what's that yellow one called?
Bumble.
Yes, Bumble. So I was on that years ago, and it's like Tinder. You can swipe.
Here's the origin story. Now we finally know.
No, it's not an origin story.
Right, go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's not an origin story. It's just an example, whatever. So you can swipe left and right, and anything like that. So you swipe, what is it? Right. You match with someone. If you match by accident, you have the option to delete it or whatever, which I've done. There's been many times where there's like an astrology thing pops up and I'm trying to delete it and I can't. And it's just like playing it and like, what the heck? I'm trying to like delete it. I can't delete it. Like, I don't want to see this. Like
it's like an ad. It's an ad.
It's, I guess you call it an ad, but it's like in the app and it's like showing to me and I don't want to see it. I just want to turn away from it, but I don't have the option to do that. It's basically being thrown to me. Why not? Why am I using
Is it an ad or not? Is it an ad?
It's an ad in the app.
Okay, so they have to monetize that. Your analogy makes no sense here.
I think what he's trying to say is
I'm on a platform that I'm looking for something specific, but then I'm getting thrown out something else. I'm going to a movie looking for something specific, but I'm getting thrown something else.
Doesn't make sense.
But you could swipe away from that, right?
No, I couldn't.
But you realize that at the end of the day, there are going to be movies that align to what you think. I'm gonna call it political stuff. There are movies that align to your political beliefs or your belief
Although
system.
I don't want to see that either.
Well, okay, but
If
the
I
thing
if I
is,
wanted to see, let's say
but you don't have to, it's
I,
not your movie. It's not your choice. So at the end of the day, you're complaining about something that you have no creative rights over. You have the choice. The thing
on
is
creative
that
rights, correct?
what?
I don't have any creative rights, correct? But so if I'm expecting to see a Spider-Man movie, I want to see a Spider-Man movie, not a.
No, that's your expectation. That's
Hold
not
on,
the
hold on.
expectation of
I
the
mean,
actual movie.
if it says Spider-Man and I don't know the Seven Dwarfs, I want to see Spider-Man and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't want to see Spider-Man, a Christian Spider-Man movie or
Well,
a Jewish Spider-Man movie or something like that.
but once again, you have no your expectation of something is not based on the reality of what is actually being produced. So them saying like you saying, "Oh, I want to watch a movie, a Spider-Man movie," right?
Mhm.
You do you not get Spider-Man in there in the
You
Spider-Man
get
movie?
Spider-Man in there, but
Yes, so you get
you
Spider-Man in there.
get
So, but if you get extra stuff in there, that's just the cost of watching a Spider-Man movie. That's just what it is. So at the end of the day, if you choose to watch a Spider-Man movie, if you feel so strongly about it, the one thing you can always do is vote with your dollar. If you don't want to see it, then don't. If you
but
don't
see,
want to
that's
see
the
it, you don't
thing.
see it. Then
I'm going in with my dollar, expecting to see a Spider-Man movie, but then get delivered something else. I can't just like take my dollar back.
but
I
the thing
can
is,
leave, but I already
but
paid for
you're
my
complaining about
ticket.
something you already know is going to happen. If you
I
already
don't know
feel
if it's gonna happen or not.
so, you're upset that the fact that people will put issues
What are
inside
you
the
upset
show.
about? I don't understand.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm expecting entertainment, so I want to be
You get
entertained.
entertainment. You did get entertained. Just because it came with a little
Did
something
I?
extra.
You do
You
get
did.
entertained. You just don't like what comes with the entertainment, and there's a price to be paid for your entertainment.
Yeah, but you don't know what to expect unless you want to, spoil yourself ahead of time, and that's different. Like I'll take for instance, the last three Star Wars movies. I'm a
Mhm.
Star Wars fan. I'm expecting, Star Wars. I
Mhm.
go see it. I don't like it, but I can't take my money back. I can leave, but I can't take my money back. I already paid for, what I was expecting with Star Wars. If I go see a Christian movie, I'm expecting to see a Christian movie. But if I get something else, what the heck? What's going on?
But you're getting
That
what
that
you're still getting what you pay for. You just get a little extra. So at the
Right,
end of
but
the day,
again, with Star Wars, like I said, there was always politics in Star Wars, my friend.
yes, there is always politics in Star Wars, but not the
Mhm.
politics that I'm talking about.
What politics are you talking about? If you can't say it, if you're too ashamed to say it, then it's not probably something worth talking about.
I'm not ashamed
from you.
to say it. I said it many, many times. I don't want to be a broken record. I said it many, many times.
I really don't. Otherwise, that's why
I
we're
know.
asking, because we are really not sure what you're specifically referencing.
Well, if
And
you
I
don't know
haven't
by
seen the Star
now,
Wars.
then
I don't know. I haven't seen the Star Wars movies in a long time, so I don't know. Is there gay Star Wars characters? Is it like biracial relationships? I don't know what's in Star Wars. I haven't seen those movies in a long time.
I just don't understand me personally. And
Is there
outside,
a Trump reference?
I don't
a
understand
what reference?
a Trump.
No.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Like
Didn't the Emperor
Why-
say it was huge?
he is
Yeah,
huge. He
sure.
says
I'm
real
sure you
huge.
said that at some
He
point.
says huge power.
Vader.
Huge
This-
power. Huge.
Yeah. He was like my Death Star is the biggest Death Star
Yeah.
ever.
Ed's like, what are they trying to say here?
I wonder. The only thing I say is like I just wonder like if I see something in a TV show, right? Like, or if I see something in a series, like a good example, right? Like one thing I am very open about, and I always complain about, is about one actress in particular that they always cast to be the love interest for a white guy. Which
Yes.
is Zoe Saldana. If there's
Yes.
It's coming soon in
It's coming
green
soon.
and blue.
blue, yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, if they need a black woman or a woman of color to play opposite of
Okay.
white male, they got
These are the
Zoe.
opinions. These are the
No,
opinions.
I don't like that, by the way. I don't like that, by the way.
Twitch.tv/Ed Underground.
I
Zoe-
Send your hate there.
I
yeah.
think she's a great actress. I like her.
No,
I don't
what I'm saying
like
is
I'll call
the point out.
portrayals or
But
whatever.
what I call the point out is that this is what I'm saying. I see that is an issue. Not saying that I don't think there's a problem with interracial acting.
Oh, I don't
blah, blah.
either.
I'm saying is like why they always picking her. Like they always pick her. Why do they always pick her? See, I'm defining a problem, and the
Well,
thing is,
Yeah, that's the bigger problem than her. That's
No, I'm not saying that she's the problem.
I mean,
saying
she's choosing it
no,
though.
no, I'm not saying that she's the problem in of itself. I know it's like
Ed's right. Get ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying
screw the producers or the writers.
Yeah,
Ed's going right to her.
For the producers, the writers, the people that are picking the cast, they always pick her. And I'm like, damn, there are other black actresses that you could pick who would be willing to do, because it's acting at the end of the day. You being opposite of a
and you can't hate on her for working.
No, I'm not hating.
Oh,
on her.
no.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I know what you're saying, but like there are people making these decisions that's not Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, I know it's not Zoe Saldana, but I feel like in the boardroom they're just like, all right, well, we need a person of color. It needs to be a woman, and we need her to act as a love interest to the main character. Yeah,
and then they take out their book of
their book, you mean like a notepad.
Well, Bandito Max says we need a soft black. We need we can get a.
Is Halle Berry available?
Yeah, is Halle Berry? No, she's too old. We can't use her anymore. Okay, well, I guess we gotta go with Zoe. Like, we could pick a Viola Davis, but damn. Man, she's a little too dark or something. I don't know what decisions they make.
Zendaya's too young for this role.
Yeah, but yeah, Zendaya. Yeah, she's we don't know. But that's the thing. Is like they get once again. A black person you will find in the
I don't know. Wow. Bandito Mac. These are not the opinions of the Blur podcast. Yeah. Direct all your hatred to twitch.tv/underground.
Although they are true opinions.
But the point.
Damn.
But back to the point what I was saying is that for like Zoe, like watching this, like watching Marvel, like watching Guardians of the Galaxy, I know that at the end of the day, I'm going to see Gamora, which is Zoe Saldana, and I'm going to see her with opposite Chris Pratt as a love interest. Are they pushing an agenda? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't care at this point. Because at the end of the point, Gamora's green. So at the point, she's a fucking alien. I don't really give a shit at this point. It's a make-believe fiction world. All this is just fiction. All I'm saying is that for, like, if there's an issue that if there's issues being pushed on in a movie, am I entertained? Yes. If there's some extra political agenda that's added to it, who gives a fuck? If it is the case, guess what? At the end of the day, I can choose to be like, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. Keep it moving. Like, I don't see. I feel like so many people, like, they want to put their opinions out on the internet about stupid shit like this, and it's just like, it's just like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not hurting you. It's not hurting anybody at the end of the day. So I'm just like, if they want to put a certain agenda on there, like if they want to make two main characters instead of the love interest being a heterosexual couple, make it a gay couple, I'm gonna be like, damn, his booty probably sore. I don't know. I don't like I don't care about that shit. I'll make a joke about it and keep it pushing. Same thing if it was a heterosexual couple. Like, like I was saying with Zoe Saldana and Chris Pratt and Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd be like, damn, they had to pick her of all the black women they could have picked, or any actress they could have painted as green. I don't give a fuck. It's just like, I'll make the point and I keep it pushing. But like, I just don't understand why people get so upset about it, or make it a point to make it a point about it like every single time. It's like, if there's an agenda that's getting pushed, fine, fuck it, let them push the agenda. Am I still getting entertained at the end of the day? Sure.
I hope so.
And keep it pushing.
I mean, the Zoe Saldana thing, there is an agenda being pushed. She was just there at the time the agenda is being pushed. Like, there's a whole like push for more biracial couples on the screen, right? And she's just there. She was on the front line. Yeah, you know what I mean? She's one of the better. But there's definitely an agenda. There's
she's a talented actress, a talented actress, however you want to break that down. She's talented. So if you're gonna pick a black person to do it, you're gonna get the one that's gonna give you most bang for your buck. That's just any.
But you noticed it. Is my point is?
I know. Yeah, because she's in every. What, like, you can name 10 movies?
No, there's a lot of them. There's a Netflix movie that just came out called
Is that with Deadpool?
No, it's a movie, and that's another one.
She wasn't the one with Deadpool too. Yeah. Project Adam or whatever.
Where she's like she's like trying to get with a restaurateur in like Paris. My wife was watching it, and sure enough, the guy that she was like, hooking up with, one was like a Spanish guy, another guy was a French guy, and she was the black love interest for the both of them and so forth. I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, before I even knew what the movie was, I'm like, is Zoe Saldana in the movie? She's like, yes. I'm like, I guarantee the main actor is some white guy, European guy, or something like that. Is a white guy that's opposite of her. I'm like, I don't even have to see the movie. So I was like, watch the series. Let me know. She said, I came in like an hour later. She was like, "Motherfucker, you right." She was like, "Yeah, it's a Spanish guy, a Spaniard." And I was like, "Oh, well, there you go." I'm like, I know, Europeans, Spaniards, they're blah blah blah, but yeah, then the French guy. So I was just like, I just know she's the it girl, and I get that. So yeah, I saw the issue. I make a comment on it. It annoys me because I'm not annoyed with her. I don't care who she dates. I don't care who she sleeps with. I think she's married to a white man in real life. I don't give a fuck about that. Like half my family is in an interracial relationship. Cool. Happy for you. I'm just saying I'm just tired of her being that it girl. There's other black women they could pick. There's other women of color that can pick. But at the end of the day, does it stop me from watching any shows that she does? No. I've seen Colombiana. I've seen every show.
Because the story's good, right?
I don't think Colombiana. It's one of those action stories that I'm just like, whatever.
The majority of movies that she's been in that portrayal,
it's good. I'm just like, whatever. I just don't care. I'm entertained and I keep it pushing. Like if they push an agenda, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's just I keep it pushing. I point out. I see the issue. I point it out and I keep it pushing. But I feel like for you, on the other hand, I feel like you actually are like, it rustles your jimmies.
That's a rustle my jimmies. I'm just like, as for Star Wars, Rey was portrayed as the overpowered female main character.
Yeah, like I pointed out, so was Luke, so was Anakin.
Luke was not
this was a point for you.
No.
Yes,
Luke
Anakin was literally the one.
The one, yeah.
Wait,
bullshit.
Luke or Anakin?
Anakin.
I thought you said Luke.
Well, Luke
was also like the savior. I mean,
Anakin was the one.
Anakin
was the one, and then because Anakin went to darkness, they were like, "Oh, well, actually, it was really Luke the entire time."
No, so, Luke was not. Luke
turns out it was Rey the whole time.
Hold on. Yeah. Luke's not the one.
She's not
Luke
a Skywalker.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about the main character. I'm not getting into the lore. I'm saying the main character is always OP.
All right.
The main character is always OP.
Main character. Luke and Anakin both lost their hands. Both have to train. We saw their progression in training from being a Padawan who sucked to
I said this before. Luke literally had the shortest amount of training. He's a teenager when Obi-Wan showed him, here's a laser sword. Cool. And then he dies.
He lost his hand in the first movie.
I know. But before he fights Vader, before he fights Darth Vader,
that Rey lost.
It doesn't matter. Okay, well, she didn't lose a limb.
She
Who
realized
cares?
it's like 30 years difference in story. So the difference of her telling a story versus.
It's also a cliche. If Rey lost a limb, everyone would like fucking another character loses a limb.
Another Skywalker.
Yeah, it would have just been another eye roll.
Hold on. Anakin and Luke both had the Skywalker bloodline in them, yet they've gone through trials and tribulations, lost limbs, and lost a lot of battles and won all that stuff. Rey, who is not a Skywalker,
she's a Palpatine.
Exactly. Rey is not a Skywalker by bloodline, and is so OP.
Yeah, because she's a Palpatine. Is Palpatine not OP?
Palpatine is very fucking.
Are you prepared to say Palpatine is not OP?
He is OP, but he lost.
Okay, so
was Anakin. So was Anakin.
Okay, yeah, right. There's a lot of that's really lazy writing. It's bad writing.
It is bad writing.
It's not Rey. It's not. There's no agenda with Rey. Rey is as much of a main character as the other two series.
Rey is probably, I would say, if you go talk to other Star Wars fans, she's probably the most hated Star Wars character.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the other Star Wars fans because this is the part of the problem we're talking about.
It's bad writing, and she is so OP.
But it's not an issue.
That's bad writing.
That's not a political issue.
Hold on. It comes
you're
across as that.
You're looking for the political
not looking
issue.
for it. It's just there.
It's the same as Anakin and Luke. You're just looking for where's the politics. Oh, it's a woman. I wonder why now it's a woman. You're looking for the politics.
It was OP. And he told the past, how does it go by? The past must die or something like that. And she goes against a person who has
her. That's literally the whole, like, that's what's his name?
No,
I forgot the dude's name. But Yeah, but that's
goes against someone who has a Skywalker bloodline and
So?
wins.
You do realize,
So?
okay. So I mean, I don't want to be on this.
Yeah, we're getting off into something else here.
because we're going like 3 hours and 17 minutes.
Again,
the thing is,
fuck.
the thing is
Oh,
this.
Waldo's.
Yeah,
He's
Green
battling his
Tuner-
own inner demons right now.
Yeah, Green Tuner is out for the count. The
Mhm.
thing is this: people are always going to have issues for whatever, and people are going to connect parallels to whatever. So because it was a woman this time, all these guys are, and I'll say live guys are coming out and saying, "Oh my goodness, look at this! They're trying to push an agenda. The Force is female, and now she's so powerful because she's a woman." Now, if this was a black person, let's say if it was a black man who was in this role, in the exact same role, people would be like, "Oh, look at them trying to promote black
Push an
people,
agenda,
push an agenda, like trying to get that Black Panther money, trying to get black people in here." You know damn well there's no black Jedis. The last one was killed out at Mace Windu. He was the last of his bloodline. There ain't no other black people. If
No one complained about Mace Windu.
That's not the point.
He was the only, from what I can remember, he's the only black Jedi. But no, if any character was overpowered, I would say something about it. Whether it be orange, purple.
You're missing
Anakin's
the point.
overpowered. There's no question.
But you're missing
the
the point of creating a. You're saying overpowered, and if you just stopped it at there and just said it was overpowered because of bad writing, it'll be okay. But what you're trying to, what you're adding in is you're adding in the politics, and you're looking for it because it's a woman, and then you're trying to
when someone say the Force is female,
let me finish. You say is drawing a parallel and so forth, and it's like, okay, even if they say the Force is female, so
which they did,
so what?
But why say that?
That was marketing.
That was marketing.
Because
that was marketing.
Because Rey is not a male, right? If they said the Force is female and Rey was a male, I can't see the connection there.
The Force is female was a reference to, hey, we're getting more women creators and women fans and women characters in Star Wars, something you've never seen before.
Right.
They're just making a point of, we're diversifying Star Wars. Again, the same thing. Force is female didn't mean that, hey, we're going to turn Han Solo into a woman. You're looking way too far into something that's not there.
Let's go back to like Comic-Cons that we've gone to the past. Overwhelmingly, how in the Comic-Cons, what's the disparity between male and female? Overwhelmingly male. There's a lot more damn men than women. The Force is female is a marketing thing because Star Wars
is more men than women.
Because before
you've never been to a Comic-Con, but let me tell you something from an opinion. Yeah, so you should know.
So the thing is,
overwhelmingly more men than women.
But at the end of the day, you see,
and historically so,
in all the Star Wars, in all the entire Star Wars series, when have women been prominent in the Star Wars series for the most part?
I mean, there is more men than
there's a hell of a lot more men. Women have not been a prominent part of Star Wars. So the fact that they're bringing a woman
in a lead capacity,
there's really rarely
Princess Leia and
Princess Leia is the most, and then
that's what I was about to say.
Osaka,
but it's not in a lead
great
capacity.
Characters. No, hold on, I would love to see. It's coming up anyway. An Osaka, yeah, I want to see that. That's a female character. Asaka, that's a female character. Ahsoka,
whatever.
Tomato. She's not OP. She's gone through some mess. Yet I want to see that. That's one of my favorite female Star Wars characters. Her and the one person that got cancel cultured. I want to see.
You're so big fans you don't even know their names.
Well, yeah, I don't know everyone's name.
That one good one is the name you have.
Well, I forgot her name. She played in Gina Carano, but I forgot her character's name. I want to see her.
Garbage was her character's name.
It's so not important.
I'm not done.
I wasn't done with my point. You just kept talking.
You stopped talking now
because you just interrupted me. So at the end of the day, because of Force is female,
you have a good point.
You have this point. Your point is always trying to bring some parallel of, like I said, if it was a black male that was in this, people would say the exact same thing. It's just black people. They're trying to bring black people into it. The only person that they want, I
wouldn't have said that.
You 100% would have said that.
If it was there, hold on.
That literally happened when the first two trailers for Star Wars Force Awakens came out. They hid that Rey was the main character. And there's a false scene where Finn has the lightsaber, and the internet was saying exactly that.
They lost their mind about
saying exactly that.
And look what they did to Finn.
Right. Well, I mean, they would have done it to Ray.
Yeah.
That's a tragedy too. What they did to Finn.
I'm just saying, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're
I think
coming
you
from the
just
same
I
place.
think you
No.
just hate women.
It's the same agenda. People
no,
are going to talk about the
I
same
love women.
agenda in politics if it was Finn.
Well, no, would I want to see a female-led character? Sure. But I want to see a black female or male character? Sure. But if they're pushing something too, I'm going to say something about
So
it.
you think that okay?
And
So
I
you
don't think they're
do you-
pushing anything.
Do you think okay? So at the end of the day, this is yes or no. Do you think
No,
that
it
they
can be
push?
yes or no because wait. It can be yes or no because it could be something more in detail of the question. But
No,
go on.
well, let me ask the question.
You can
make it. So
refine it down to a yes or no.
yes, you
You
can.
can't. You can't.
Why
Yes,
can't?
you can.
So you
Depending on
so,
the question.
Okay, so let me answer the question.
It's not like, do you like chocolate chips? Yes or no? Yeah, I like chocolate chips. Do you like
The question
chocolate-
was, is Hitler a good guy? Oh, so now you will
No,
hesitate,
he's
huh?
not.
You're gonna-
No, he's
okay,
not.
so the
But
question
no,
is- So the question is.
but I know your
do you thi-
questions.
Okay,
too.
what's
Go
my
on.
question? What's my question?
I said I know your questions. I know
What's
how
that?
you design.
Okay, so what's my
them. Go
question?
on.
So what's my
No,
question?
Gotcha
I don't know
question.
this.
It's not gotcha question.
I don't know
This is
one.
a
Go ahead.
straight. This is a straightforward
Ask it.
question.
Go ahead. That's
Do
the
you
question.
think do you think they made Ray overpowered because she was a woman?
Yes.
Okay, that's all we need to know. There's nothing else to discuss. Like anything else we just discuss at this point is going to be the same rhetoric where Ez thinks that,
No,
just because
see,
because
no,
you're a woman.
no. It's not because of that. I love. Oh, there's a lot of female characters that I love who are women.
So you think it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that this is the sequel trilogy, and they have to up the ante, and whoever it would have been, Finn, Ray, a Wookiee, whatever it was, they would have had to have been more popular or more powerful than everyone who came before.
No, you don't
because there has to be escalation. There has to be a bigger threat. I don't have to tell this to a Dragon Ball Z fan. There has to be escalation. There has
Even
to be
in Dragon
a
Ball
bigger
Z,
threat.
someone loses. Even the main character, he loses, and then he somehow overcomes that. There is no overcoming with Ray.
There is no
Ray,
overcoming.
Yeah, Ray didn't lose a
Goku
limb.
doesn't overcome anything. He just keeps going. There's no learning. There's no nothing.
God,
There's no
you-
overcoming.
Trust me.
I don't
there's
need to
a-
get into the
there's a
that
lot of overcoming. in
progression
DBZ.
of Dragon Ball Z. No,
DBZ
come
may
on,
not have the
man.
greatest stories in the world, but there's a lot of overcoming.
There's no overcoming in
it's
DBZ,
like-
man.
it's like comparing-
It's just standard.
It's like Superman and Goku. Goku, he trains, he becomes better, he gets powered up, he loses, and then he gets better. That's overcoming.
Yeah, but it happens every single goddamn
But
time,
it
like
happens,
a formula.
But he's not overpowered from the beginning.
I mean, I
Boom.
think he is overpowered
Boom.
from the
He
beginning
is not
because he
overpowered. in the beginning.
always has
He's-
the power inside him.
He's died a few times. The
Gives
main
a shit.
character.
Goku's a garbage character, and there's no formula. I mean, or sorry, there is
No,
a
there's
heavy
a
formula.
There's
Oh
a
yeah,
formula,
it's
but-
all formula.
But I respect DBZ a whole lot more than Ray because at least they gave him a decent story where he actually has to overcome things. He's not overpowered from the back. He's
No,
lost. He's died.
Disagree.
Ray has never lost a limb. Ray.
What does it have to do with losing
Hold
a
on,
limb?
hold on. Ray picked up a lightsaber for the first time ever and was able to defeat.
So did Luke.
Luke lost his arm.
But Luke, she didn't.
After Luke lost his arm
but she
after.
technically, she didn't beat Luke, right?
You're right. It's bad writing.
They never
I'm not
fought.
saying it's not good writing.
Didn't
I'm
he
saying
spar?
it's bad
I thought they
writing.
sparred.
They never. Oh God.
No. It's
No.
bad writing.
They never
It is-
fought
it-
like that.
No, they never.
It is
fought like that.
absolutely bad writing. There's no joke. There's no question about the writing being bad. The sequel trilogy has bad writing. The characters are not developed properly. But I mean, Ray can be developed fine. It was just poorly written. But you're looking for something that's not
I'm
there.
not looking for something that's there or not.
You're looking for politics as the excuse of that series being bad.
I'm not
where it's
looking
bad
for it.
Writing. Bad writing is the excuse that it's bad.
If someone
not
from
politics.
if someone from the cast or director or producer, in this case, I forgot her name, saying that the Force is female and all these
Again, she's not referencing the movie. She's referencing Star Wars culture. And what's wrong with that?
is the Force female.
I don't even know what that means.
The Force. What is the Force? Is the Force male or female?
The Force has no gender.
Boom, and we're done.
Right. We are done. We were done some time ago, but
So
it doesn't have anything to do with the Force.
Why
By the way,
would
Creamcast, you can end it whenever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been done. But
Yeah.
no, the Force is Female was a marketing tool to reference a marketing tool to reference female creators and female centric stories entering Star Wars for the first fucking time. That's all it was. Hey, we are going to talk about this stuff. Force is Female. It didn't end Star Wars. It's not the end of the world.
It didn't end Star Wars, but
No,
it put a pretty good dent in Star Wars. But
the dent in Star Wars was done because of bad writing, bad handling.
mhm.
It was not done because of a female character, and it's unfair to put it on one female character. All of your hate and aspirations for what Star Wars could have been.
Oh, I'm
Star
not putting
Wars
on
was
one
handled
character.
poorly. The prequel trilogies were hated when they were in our time when we were younger.
Yes,
People
it
make
was.
fun of the prequel trilogies.
And I liked it.
You're right, and I think the next generation, whatever it is, will look upon the sequel trilogies for the stuff that you're not seeing that our generation did not see in the prequel trilogy. There's
I
good
don't know.
stuff there.
No,
Yeah, there was good stuff
I
there.
have to agree
A
with.
few
I have,
things.
I have to agree with Ed Underground on this. Dark Side.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to agree. The Force. They're obviously
a
pushing an
trick?
agenda. They're obviously pushing an agenda.
This is a
They,
trick.
they only like women. No matter what the character is, because they chose a woman. How dare
Mhm.
they choose a overpowered woman? Which they have to escalate, but they didn't have to put a woman in there. So they put a woman in there, and they're just totally messing up my full on hard on for Luke Skywalker being the most powerful Jedi of all time.
True.
But they had to go
No.
ahead and put Ray
False.
Palpatine in. That's such a
No, Ray, if you want to call her Skywalker.
No, she's Ray Palpatine.
No,
She's-
yeah, she is Palpatine, Ray Palpatine.
Exactly. So I have to agree with. They're obviously pushing an agenda. They're trying
All
to
right.
take over.
You're
trap.
right. I'm
It's a trap.
wrong. Ed, take us out.
It's a trap.
I've been defeated.
Yes,
It's a
take
trap.
Us, take us.
Again,
You're the greatest. Ed.
as always. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 64 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, you can find us on all major platforms, and you can talk with us live on twitch.tv/the Blurred Podcast.
Unless you're a woman, that's OP.
That makes no sense.
Wow.
Later, baby.